Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Rush Racing League Division 2 on the back of Division 4 earlier on at Suzuka. Konnichiwa. We are here for Division 2 for round 16 for a great night of racing around Japan. A track which I don't mind. I don't mind it. I'm not a fan of it, but these guys will be a fan of it. So, but before we do go, we do have a few things tonight. We've got a race ban, unfortunately, for the visa, and we have two quali bans as well for Hado and Yuki Bear as well, and two big penalties as well to serve as well. So, going to be an interesting night. Looking forward to it. In the comments box, as always, joining by my side for Division 2 is Rekus. Good evening.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. It's fantastic to be back here at Rush Racing Elite here in Japan. Like you said, it is a track that you either absolutely love it or you absolutely hate it. Sometimes it's a driver's track. So you have those drivers that really love this track for how tricky it is and how technical it is, and they're not wrong. It is a very tricky track. I mean, you got those really tricky S's in the first sector. And I mean, overtaking here isn't super easy, so drivers are really going to have to find their openings and just take them with the first available opportunity, because otherwise, trying to get the overtake may be a bit easier said than done here.
Yeah, 100%. We saw it in the real Formula One, and it was such a interesting spectacle because hardly anyone could overtake. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what we've got here coming up to the closing stages of the season as well, Rekus. And we're going to do it all again for 25, which is going to be very, very exciting. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, F125 is going to be a bit of a different game. I mean, we kind of know that these F1 games do have a weird trend of the odd number ones being certified bangers and the even number ones being a little bit more on the iffy side. Especially with F122, that one was like I went back and played F122 recently and tried to compare it to 24, and wow, it's such a stark difference. But yeah, I'm personally looking forward to F125. I got my pre-order in. I'll be playing it on the 27th, and it should be a lot of fun. But obviously, we just have to see how the game plays. Ideally, it is going to be a bit more on the functioning side compared to what we have currently with F124 with its EA server issues. Hopefully, those have been fixed. But I'm also really excited for the possibility of those reverse tracks, the reverse layouts for Austria, Austria Red Bull Ring, Silverstone, and there's one other track. I can't remember exactly which one it is off the top of my head, but I know we have three. What was it?
Austria.
Oh yeah, I said Austria. There's Austria. There's Silverstone. One other reverse layout track. I can't remember off the top of my head. Maybe someone in chat will remind us. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the game.
Zandvoort, Netherlands.
Oh, Zandvoort. Yeah, you're right. Oh, there's a spin actually. There's a spin. Hado, who got a collision with Yuki Bear. He just spun out into, I believe that was the right out of 130R. So that was a bit of an interesting one. Caught that one out of the corner of my eye.
Oh no. Well, we don't have any on board tonight, so it's either going to be myself or you. So feel free if you do want to message into the chat, get amongst it. But if we do have someone come in later on which would be even better. So if anyone is tuning in does want to be the on board tonight, then let us know. And then yeah, we'll introduce you and bring you in, and yeah, you do what you need to do. Right, we've got Yuki Bear who's decided to retire. We're going to have Hado as well that's going to retire. We've got 18 on the grid tonight. We are going to have, I reckon, only 2 people are going to make it through. 3 people are going to make it through into quali. So yeah, interesting to see what happens here. We've got a few people on and out laps, so let's have a look. We've got Coda, Watanabe, Aussie, 2K, Roller, or Jizzle. Who are we going to jump on board with?
Let's go on board with Jizzle, because I mean he's had some pretty decent performance. I mean, he made I think it was a soft tire or was it a medium tire last week? Go like 30 some laps. I mean, just the tire life management is insane, to say the least.
Yes, indeed, was insane, and it's going to be interesting to see. See, I'm unfortunately the only Ferrari on the track tonight, so still big points up for grabs as Dale Biff does a 133.830. That is not the best of times. I have seen quicker, so it may have made a few mistakes there. So this is a track which is all about Sector One. So hopefully everyone gets it right. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But Jizzle is about to start. And then we will jump on board with our two first interviews of the night as well. So over to you, Rekkers, to take it away with Jizzle.
All right, yeah. So it's coming down to the final little chicane here on turn 16 and 15 and 16 of the track. A little bit of a snap coming out of there, so he won't have the best of start for this, but we're gonna go ahead and kick him off. We'll see what he can do here. Like you said, it is very reliant on how you take this first sector. So he's going through the first hairpin very nicely. Oh, a bit of a potential brake lock up there from the Ferrari. He's going to go ahead and get into these S's. This is the part where you can probably make or break your lap time the most on this track. As Coda says, the current benchmark time. We'll see how close Jizzle gets to it. Oh, getting a little snappy there at the end of the Suzuka S's. And a big spin, big drift, and he is into the wall. Actually, just cleared the wall, but yeah, that Ferrari is looking like a Formula Drift car more than a Formula 1 car right now, so this lap time is probably not going to stick super well. Although the game still did register he got a purple sector 1, so if you needed any other indication that these sector times might be a bit bugged, or at least the purple sectors might be a bit bugged, then, well, there you go.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Jizzle there. And all right, let's bring in our first two interviewees into the comms box. So here we go. There they are. So hopefully they will jump in a second and join us. We've still got Q1 to get through. Also Q2 and Q3 tonight. Coda sitting the pedigree at the moment with 128.399. Aussie 2K in that P2 position with a 131.722, and then Bev's in the P3 with a 133.830. Still a lot of cars on track still to set times at the moment. And what do you think we're going to see here? Do you think we're going to see a late 27s, an early 28s? Like, what's your thoughts?
I think as this track gets more and more rubbered in, as we see more of that track evolution, I think a high 127 is possible. We haven't seen that yet, but I mean, we have seen some blistering qualifying times that have shocked us in the past, like the driver I'm currently on board with, XD Lamb, who just set a time that's about little under 3/10 on the dot slower than Coda. But we've seen this man have some really excellent qualifying form here in recent times in that Williams. Took two pole positions at Brazil, converted one to a win. The other one, the less said about it, the better for the Williams driver. But I think we will see that 127, but drivers are going to have to really fight for it. And it may not even be in this session. It might be Q2 or Q3 by the time we actually get to those 127 numbers.
Okay, well, we've got our first interview of the night. Yuki Bear, welcome to the comms box. Unfortunately, you have a race ban and a track which, can either go brilliantly or can go very, very wrong. How are you feeling tonight for the strategy around here at Suzuka?
I didn't know how to race ban.
Quali ban. Sorry, my apologies.
You're alright. Yeah, I didn't actually know I got quali ban until about a little bit after I didn't know until a few days ago because I didn't really check my phone. So that was a fun surprise. But it's a good track for me. So hopefully I can, I don't know, just score a few points. If Dale gets a crappy quali, which I've seen him spin once, so that might help. I don't know, but fingers crossed for me if he gets not a great quali. So I've got at least a chance of outscoring him. Don't think I will, but hey, see what happens.
Anything?
But no, it's a good track. It's a fun track, apart from all the death curves.
Mm.
So yeah, It's not terrible.
What's the strategy looking like? Starting from the back. What do you think you're going to do in regarding time?
Probably slips in the dry, enters in the wet.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we probably start in the softs, try and make up some positions, hope for a safety car. As we did see in Division 4, no safety car happened, only one VSC, which is pretty impressive, to be honest with you, on a track like this. Sector 1's going to have a lot of cars going into that turn 1. It's going to be bumper to bumper, and obviously, if you can capitalise from the back, which is easy to be, can be done, but yeah, it's going to be a tough ask. Got Shifty in there tonight. Are you? Is he the one going to try and go out there and score some big points, put it up at the top, put pressures on the McLaren so you can try and get through? Is that the plan, or is it just running your own race and just working together from wherever he ends up and yourself as well?
Yeah, my whole plan. I don't actually have a tire strategy yet. I don't know. I haven't really thought that far. I'm just hoping literally just to survive the first few laps. That's my goal, just to survive. No damage, no nothing. Get out, get no flow, start making some moves. Hopefully, there's a few crashes, make some moves up on the first few laps. Yeah, but no damage. That's the goal. And yeah, hopefully a bit of a weird safety car or something. Get lucky and could be out there for, I don't know, it's decent points. Anything. I'll take as what can I get.
Okay, so to me, it's like hope and what if at the moment, which is good to go by.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right, we'll see what happens. Rekus, have you got any questions for Yuki Bear?
Yeah, so I did catch, I don't know if we caught it on stream, but I did catch out of the corner of my eye an interesting incident between you and Hato before you guys went ahead and retired from the session. Looked like you guys collided right at the end of 130R. You want to talk about that one?
Yeah, Hato completely brake chipped me, tried to take me out. No, we're having a bit of fun, and I got on the curb and went for a bit of a ride.
Noted.
So yeah, it was a bit fun. I mean, we're
Alright,
starting
well,
last. You may as well have a bit of fun while we can.
That's the objective. I mean, granted, yes, there's a lot of points on the line. Still a championship battle for yourself, but you gotta have some fun in there somewhere. So yeah, that's all the questions I have. Best of luck to you in today's race, and hopefully it goes better than the I was gonna say you're qualifying, but or the lack thereof.
Mm.
Oh, that's a burn. That is a burn there from Rekus. Jesus.
Thanks. Didn't know what I did.
Confidence. Jesus.
Wow.
Rekus.
There you go. I may as well just leave now.
It's motivation.
Motivation.
Hey, I'll take it as that.
All right.
It's a reverse commentator's curse.
Oh, God. All right, all the best, Yuki, in the race. Right, we'll go
Cheers,
over to Hato, who has a QB as well. Hato, unfortunately, last week was a bit of a you could say a bit of a shit show with a few quali bands. You're obviously looking at this one in Silverstone, which is obviously not the best. But yeah, what's your thoughts to Suzuka?
Thoughts to Suzuka. Really, if I can survive lap 1, I should be right. This is, I'd like to say, one of my better tracks. So, yeah, hopefully, no, I've got the strategy down for it. I've had a lot of races here, so I know what to expect from everything. So if all goes to plan, we move from last to in the points.
Okay. You got your teammate at the moment, Aussie 2K, 29-3. You're feeling pretty confident he can go through into Q2.
Yeah, I'm feeling confident. There's only one person really getting knocked out, so if there you go, you set a better time. So
as we just saw it here.
Yeah, only one person getting knocked out. So yeah, it's going to be hard. Everyone's going to be fighting to not be 16th. But you know, I think he's got the pace to even possibly get to Q3, so it should be good.
Okay. And then the strategy going into the race, you're looking to get onto the softs, going to go the distance on the hards. What's going to be the strat?
So I will be avoiding the softs at all cost.
Okay.
They are the worst tyre around here. But so really, I'm gonna try go a bit longer on the mediums, maybe around 14, 15 laps, and then get onto the hards for the rest, and then bring it home.
Okay. All right. Well, we wish you all the best in the race, and I'll pass you over to Rex if he's got any questions for you.
Thank you.
I don't have any questions for you, but I do want to wish you the best of luck in today's race. You definitely got your work cut out for you here today. Best of luck. Hopefully, both you, Yuki, and everybody survives turn 1. I know turn 1 on this track is a bit tricky to fit 20 cars into, so best of luck, and maybe we'll talk to you afterwards if you pull off a generational drive to get a podium.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you.
All right. Well, we've got a few of these guys coming in to the pits to probably go on their last hurrah. We're seeing some very interesting guys at the top here, Reckers, that we haven't seen before. Aiden's Raiden topping the charts at the moment, and he's actually retired. Then we've got Jizzle in at P2. Wef has just decided to retire as well in the kick. Shifty Wizards up there in P4. Coda's in P5. Ozzy 2K in P6. So, yeah, some very interesting guys at the front. Who's going to go out, though? We've got Watanabe and Sparko. Sparko down there, 148. Really does need to pick up the pace. And Lamb has left the session. So if you can get him another invite, that would be great. Rekus, I'll leave that over to you.
Working on it.
While Rekus is doing that, we'll just jump on board. We've got a few people on laps at the moment. So Bivs and Dido are both on a lap. This will probably be the last chance for them. Aussie 2K has decided to retire, so he's happy with that. So the last couple is between Limitless, Watanabe and Sparko, and we've seen Limitless go out quite late and go on a very, very good lap near the end there. So where's Dido? Dido now coming up to Casio Triangle very, very shortly. Low on the ERS at the moment. Now he comes into Casio Triangle. How's he going to take it? If you do not get your brake bias here, you will lose the back end. It's very slippery going into the Casio Triangle, so we'll have to wait and see. Coming across the line, what's Dido going to be? Is he going to go out of Q1? No. Stays 13th. Well, he could be going out of Q1. Going into Q2, but he's safe at the moment. What about Bevs? Bevs coming around the last couple of corners as well, through Casio Triangle as well. Bevs, what's it going to...
He's up about half a second.
Wow, P2, 128.2. Very good lap from Mr. Bevs there. We've got someone else. Lamb is back in the lobby, which is great. So we've also got Limitless. Limitless is on an out lap. We've got Watanabe. He is done and dusted. Could he be going out? Sparko coming into Sector 1. He needs a better time here. Otherwise, he is saying goodbye to Q1. It's at him and Watanabe at the moment. We've got 21 people tuning in. Thank you very much. Hope you're enjoying and hope you're having a great weekend. And looking forward to this race here at Suzuka, round number 16 for Division 2. I hope you all enjoyed the Division 4 race as well. Some of you probably jumped from there to here. 6 seconds to go of quali, and it looks like we've got an Alpine coming in. No, it's not. It's one shoe coming around the corner, actually. And he goes up into P8. And then we've got the other driver of the Mclaren, of Roller, coming around the corner. What's it going to be for him? Let's have a look. Coming around the final corner, he's gone very slow into the pits. He's done and dusted. Happy with that P12 position at the moment. JF7 up into P7. What about Sparko? Has he improved? I'm not sure on Sector 3. He's coming through here to Casio Triangle. Low on ERS. He's miles up on his time there. And let's have a look. Here we go. Coming across the final corner. Glitching all over the place. Very unfortunately here. What's it going to be? And it's going to be... P4 for Sparko.
Fourth.
Wow, good time there from the Visa Cash App. Watanabe looks like he could be out of Q1. Or is Limitless going to be out? Let's have a look. Limitless is improving. Limitless looks like he's going to make it through. So it looks like we are going to just lose Watanabe,
But what's
unfortunately.
out?
Yeah, it looks like it. I think that is it. Limitless is coming around the corner.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there.
There you go. Yep. So Watanabe is out, and Dido very, very close there as well. So interesting to say the least. What's your thoughts to that top three that we've seen in Q1?
Yeah, it's a pretty mixed bag in terms of that top three. I mean, these are all very talented drivers. We've seen some good form from these three. Dale Bev's still currently championship leader, so this is a quality that was pretty important for him because his main championship rival is down into the bottom two positions because of the quality ban for Yuki Bear. But I mean, if he would have went out early on, then that would have not been super great for his title chances, but he did eventually make it in the end. But the thing is that with this 3-stage qualifying that we have here, you got to be consistent. You can be top of the charts. And actually, we saw it, I think, very early on in the season with a driver named Ziff. He topped the charts in one qualifying session. I want to say it was Monza. And then he got knocked out in Q2 the next. So just these drivers just got to be consistent. This is a track that really puts a lot of emphasis on qualifying. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, these drivers got to keep up their performances. But it's a very encouraging start for these top three. Hopefully they'll be able to keep it up. But obviously, you know, the one thing about racing and its only predictability is that it's unpredictable. So we'll see how Q2 goes.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be very interesting. With hopefully we'll have Watanabe join us in a second. Now we've got 15 guys. Now, as you know, 5 go. Well, at the moment, only 10 go through into Q3 for the big showdown. So we'll have to wait and see how that's going to go at the moment. But some impressive times there. Some very impressive times. So we'll have to wait and see. As Sparko looks like he's going to be the first one coming out. So we'll have to wait and see how he goes. But yeah, interesting to say the least. We've got a few guys coming out. Are we going to see any? Are we going to see any toes here? That's going to be the question.
I mean, maybe. There's not really a lot of spots on this track where toes are super useful aside from that start-finish straight. Toes aren't super useful really anywhere else. I mean, maybe through 130R you could get away with the toe, but this is definitely it's equally as iconic, but this is a completely different track from the one we raced last week at Interlagos. So, I mean, it's a good possibility. A lot of these drivers could work together. I mean, we've been seeing the McLarens work together really well throughout the entirety of the season here in Division 2 at Rush. So, I mean, if anyone were to go ahead and put into teamwork, I believe it would be the McLarens. Williams, too, have also been really good on their teamwork. You think back to Singapore a few weeks ago and the Williams domination. That was in the first half of the weekend with the sprint. So we know that the Williams drivers work really well together. We know that the McLarens work really well together. So it's possible, but I just don't think it's as likely as it is in Interlagos.
Yep, it's going to be very interesting to see. We're going to jump on board with Sparko for a flying lap, and here we go. All right, so coming into the first corner, coming in down to the main straight with the DRS, going to burn a little bit of DRS. How much is he going to burn going into Sector 1? Remember, Sector 1 is the key to a very, very good time. Dropping onto the 50, getting onto the curb, going all the way around the hairpin, all the way to the left, keeping very nicely there onto the curbs, using a little bit of the curbs. You don't want to use too much because it will unbalance you very, very easily here. Very nicely done here in Sector 1. Very smooth, very clean, very good so far from Sparko. Let's see if he is going to improve on his time from Q1 at the moment. 71% on the ERS, dropping onto the 50, getting a little bit wide there. He's picking up so much pace through the Dunlop section there, then coming into the nice little hairpin. As we can see, overtakes there. A little bit of a lag moving over to the left and the right there. Hopefully that's not going to cause problems. We'll have to wait and see and monitor the situation of Sparko's car. But so far so good. Coming through into Spoon, which is around about here. There you go. There's Spoon all the way down now all the way down the straight. This is where you would think that they would put DRS, but they don't. So it's all about getting a really nice slipstream off the back of the car in front or a toe. Then coming up to Casio Triangle, low on the ERS here. So you will probably need a little bit of burn, a little bit of ERS going to the line. So here we go, roundabout now, deburn a little bit, crosses the line, does a 28.3. Slower than his time in sector in Q1 there, Rekas.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, it's still probably a good enough time to be safe, but it's definitely going to be a bit of a stretch. Ideally, you do want to be in those, like, you want to be really close to that 27 as you possibly can, although the time's coming through right now. Nobody has beat his time in the opening stages of this qualifying session. The closest one is JDI, who is 2.8 tenths behind Sparko here. Actually, Dale gets really close now. He is 44 hundredths of a second off. MJ Rolo, the McLarens are firing on all cylinders here. It is pole position, or it is top of the charts in Q2 for now, but only by 37 hundredths. So this top three here is separated by less than a tenth. So we'll have to see how this track evolution plays out, because that is going to be a huge factor later on, especially on a track like Suzuka. You'll get a lot more grip through these tricky sections, and Coda getting closer to that 127 range. He is at a 128.159, so it's 1.9 tenths ahead of MJ Rolla. So these times are coming out pretty quickly, so expect a 127 sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it's definitely. Sorry, just replying to a message there from Curtis. Yeah, mate. Season 9 signups are good to go, mate. We've got a bit of a system going on, so you'll know more. I just put a bit of a spill in there, so yeah, feel free to jump on board, get amongst it, and put your name down in the channel. If you need any help, then feel free to DM me or DM one of the guys, and they will help along the way. Right. We have Lamb has left again, so Rekas, I'll let you on to that. He has gone. Sparko's gone off track there, so he may have made a bit of a mistake. We'll have to wait and see. A little bit further back down, who have we got coming around the corner? We've got the two McLarens in P2 and P5, so good job from them so far. 28.1 is the time to beat. Coda is the time to beat for him. We've also got Bolter on a lap. We've got Withmatif on a lap as well. We've got Dido on a lap. And looks like he is about to start. No, he looks like he's about to finish. No, that's finished. Limitless Draco is on a lap at the moment, or is he finished? No, he's done. We've got Aussie 2K coming in. One Truth, he is about to come in as well. Aiden's Raiden is on low fuel. A lot of these guys on low fuel. So Withmatif looks like the last car that will be setting a time. What's it going to be from the Kick Sauber? A 1:28.2. Very close there to the top. And he goes in.
That is very close.
It is very close. And Boltaroo is now about to get on with it. So he's about to start. We've also got Jizzle as well to set times. So at the moment, 28.1 is the time to beat. Everyone is in the 28s apart from P11 down. So P1 down to P10, all in the 28s, and then P11 down to P15. Well, some of those guys still haven't set times yet, but some very quick times here. We're seeing 28, early 28s. Are we going to see early or mid 27s, Rekas?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell at this stage. Whiff did get a very, very good tow from his teammate going into, or coming out of Spoon going into 130R. So there is that bit of slipstream that he had there. And I think Boltaroo did get a little bit of a slipstream from his teammate going into the first hairpin. But, I mean, yeah, I think it's possible to see those late 127s, like a 127.8, maybe a 127.7 at the most. But right now, I think having those high 127s is going to be that benchmark going into Q3. But right now, I think the 128 is probably going to stand unless someone has an absolute monster of a lap here. I just don't think the track has evolved enough to allow the 127s just yet, but I think it's going to be sooner rather than later.
Yep, we'll have to wait and see as Boltaroo does go into the P5 there. And we've got one driver still to set a time, which is Jizzle. So not a bad Q2 session going on at the moment. We've got two Williams down there in P13, P14. Hopefully we can get Lamb back in. Chisel still needs to set times at the moment. Boltaroo is about to finish up. We've got Sparko on another outlap. He's about to go again. And we've also got Aussie 2K on an outlap as well. So Rickers, I will let you take it away with Aussie 2K in the house.
All right. Sounds good. All right, so he's coming down to the Casio Triangle now. About to go ahead and start his next flyer. He's just under 8/10 away from top of the session here. He's going to go ahead and get things rolling. He's going to make his way down into the first hairpin here at Suzuka. It's a very flat out corner. Just make sure you don't leave your DRS open, which I'm pretty sure the game will automatically close that DRS file for you. We don't want any Jack doing incidents happening here, but so far he is navigating these S's very nicely, very, very nicely. We've seen a few drivers get a little squirrely on these S's. Not the case for Aussie 2K Goat. We'll see what he can do now. He's heading through the Degnas now. He is up by 2 1/4 tenths up on his previous time. So he is currently making the improvement. That will jump him up at least at 1 position, maybe 2. Might put him up in a P8. But he still needs to improve more. He is not safe at the moment. He went through the hairpin. Now he's making his run up to Spoon. See if he can navigate this tricky hairpin and see if he can go ahead and get through with no incident. Get a good run into 130R. The best spot for overtaking on this track, and he does. He's going to get a very good run into 130R. He's going to put pedal to the metal now. He is now up almost by half a second. This is really going to do him wonders here in this qualifying session. Coming up to the Casio Triangle, the final chicane on this track. He's got one more corner left to navigate. Is he going to go ahead and improve his position? I think so, and it's up to third for Aussie 2K Go. Fantastic lap there from the Haas. Just a little over a 1/10.5 behind the top time, and that is a vast improvement from where it was just about a minute ago. So fantastic lap there from the Haas.
Yeah, no, definitely 4 thousandths of a second slower than with Matisse there, but really, really good start for him. Is it going to be enough? Because we can see this track does warm up very, very quickly. We've got everyone into the pit, so no one is deciding to go out yet. So if you are tuning in with us and you've just jumped in, we've got Coda taking the P1 at the moment, going into Q3. With Matif is into P2. We've got Aussie 2K in P3. Roller, then Sparko, then Bolts, and Aiden's Way, then Dale, Bevs, One Truth, and JS7 all going through. At the moment, from elimination, in a little bit of trouble is Limitless, Shifty, Lamb, Dido, and Jizzle. And let us know, do we have Lamb in the do we have Lamb in the lobby?
I sent him an invite. Don't know if he ever made it back into the lobby. Hopefully he does. But at the moment, I do not know. I do know he did get an invite. I'll check around and see if we do have a certain XD Lamb here, but yeah, I'm not seeing anything at the moment. Hopefully we'll get something. Hopefully we'll get something soon.
Okay, we'll have to wait and see. All right, I'm just getting messages coming through as well. Coda, how you going, mate? Obviously, he's busy talking instead of racing, but we'll have to wait and see. 2 minutes to go. We've got Jizzle out. We've got Dido out. Lamb looking to be still in the pits. We've got Bevs down there in P8. He is out on outlap as well. So we're going to see, are we going to see improvements here? This is going to be the question, because at the moment, with top 10 go through, and we are losing Limitless, Shifty, Lamb, Dido, and Jizzle. So, Jizzle coming around the last corner. Hasn't set a time, though. This could be a worry, but we have seen this guy not set a time, and then all of a sudden put it into the top 3. So, let's have a look to see what it's going to be at the moment. We do have Bevs coming around as well, though, who is in P8 at the moment. He is on and out that. Lamb has joined. Has he joined in time? Has he joined in time to get out and set a time? That's going to be the main question here, isn't it, for the Williams driver?
Yeah, indeed. He's got to get that setup applied to his car. If it didn't save it, then he just needs to punch it and just go for it. He may even need to burn a little bit of battery trying to make this time, because you got to cross that. As long as you cross that line before that clock hits 0, you'll still be able to do a lap. So we'll just have to see if Lamb can go ahead and get that done. On board now with Jizzle, as he's going to go ahead and try to set his first qualifying lap of this Q2 session with a minute and a half left to go. He definitely left it for the last moment, but I mean, like you said, we've seen this man do some crazy things. The Brazilian driver currently making his way through Spoon. He's setting some decent sector times though, so I think he might actually be able to get out of this drop zone here and put Mr. Thunder in a little bit of trouble here. Minute 12 at the end of the second sector. Now he's just got the Casio triangle to navigate. We'll see if he can go ahead and jump up the order. It's looking like a pretty decent time, but I don't think it's going to be a pole time, but it's going to be up there. He's going to elevate himself to nowhere. He's going to stay in 15th at the moment. He's going to have to just go again on another lap, but he does have a good amount of battery, so and XD Lamb has retired from the session.
Yeah, he's not been able to get out. Really, really unfortunate there for Lamb. So we will be talking to Lamb in Q2, which is very, very unfortunate. But Coda has decided to call it as well. Dido, what's he going to be here? He is in the drop zone as well. We've got a few guys in the drop zone. One Truth as well. I think, no, he's just about to finish. I think it was Ada's Raiden. Yep, Ada's Raiden's about to start.
Well,
what
Dido's
about
up
Dido?
second.
Here we go. Dido coming round the corner
He's
and up
he's
into
up a
P9.
second.
Ooh, is it enough though? Is it enough? 28.4 to a 28.6. It's down to One Truth, and One Truth is up by 2 temps already. So at the moment, it looks like we could be saying goodbye to Dido.
Yeah, I mean, it's all to play for here in these closing stages of this qualifying session. And this is when we see the most change in this leaderboard, as Dale Bev shotguns himself up into the lead of the session. A 128.079, so not quite a 27 yet. Bolteru is done, so we have 4 drivers officially done. Coda and Lamb have retired. And then we have Bevs and Bolteru going ahead and finishing. Jingle!
27.
Well, there's the 127.
Woo.
A 127.95. That is impressive there for the Ferrari. And One Truth jumps up to P3. So, I mean, some very solid times up and down the board. Shifty is out. Aussie is done. So it looks like we do have our final. But actually, JDI is up by 8/10, so he's going to chalk it up. He's in the top of the session. Draco is up to the top of the session. And I think, yeah, oh, here we go. Yep, that is a lot of changing to happen here.
It is.
And here, just as the timer ran out, just like I was talking about earlier, the timer ran out, and Coda was at the top. Now he's into 7th. So everything comes down to the last minute here in qualifying.
Yeah, no, very interesting to see. We are going to talk. We will have to, talk to these guys and see what they've got to say regarding their times. But yeah, really interesting times that we're seeing there. We saw 3 guys put it into the 27s. The Alpines, though, P3 and P6. What a great start for them. And Aussie 2K did do enough to finish in that P10 spot, and we have lost Spark Eye, Boltzeroo, Shifty Wizard, Dido, and Lamb. So breaking news, obviously Williams out of Q2.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. We know these Williams drivers have a ton of pace. I mean, XD Lamb, I mean, he's probably the most unlucky driver in the entirety of my entire commentating career that I have witnessed. He is a really fast driver. I think he does have potential to really fight for these championships, but he just gets hit with the EA-isms of just getting disconnected, his console turning off, and just a lot of just bad luck for XD Lamb. But yeah, unfortunately, that just kind of bit him today. But we did lose 5 drivers, and we still have one more qualifying session to go. But yeah, it's unfortunate for the Williams, but it is very fortunate for the Alpines, who have put in, like you said, a very fantastic result here. And crucially, Dale Bevs is in the Q3, our current championship leader, and his main rival has that quality ban, so it's really good for the McLaren here going into Q3.
Yeah, no, definitely. A very, very interesting Q2, and going to be very interesting to see how these guys are going to go. So we've got 2 Red Bulls, 2 McLarens, and 2 Alpines. So a really, really good night for those guys at the moment, and going to be very interesting to see what happens in this Q3, because we've seen 3 of these guys put it in the 27s. So going to be very interesting to see what we're going to see now in Q3.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, because I mean, I honestly I thought Jizzle's time would have been the cream of the crop for Q2, but then all the surprises, JDI taking that pole position for the Q2 session there with a 127.7, which is quicker than I thought we were going to hit tonight. But that just shows you how fantastic these drivers are here in Division 2. I mean, Division 2 is, I know we talk about it a lot, but Division 2 is super competitive here at Rush Racing League. It's because the thing with regular F1 is you can almost kind of predict who's going to end up in pole position based on who's got the fastest car, who's the quickest driver. Here at Rush, that changes every single week and even every single division. Different teams fighting for the top spots where, say, in one division, Ferrari may be dominating, and then in another division, they're just out in Q1. So that's just a reason why I love Rush. And if you guys are brand new here, go ahead and drop us a follow. It does mean the world to us, and I'm sure it means a lot to these very fantastic drivers that we have here today in Division 2 and also the other divisions. So if you want to stick around for the other racing action we have, this is our second race of the night. We had Division 4 earlier on, and we also have YouTube finally. So if you unfortunately are unable to make any of the races, then you can always check out the VODs later on.
Thank you very much, Rekus. Appreciate that support, mate, and some kind words. And more drivers the merrier. All different ages and different, abilities. As we know, as everyone is different on track. Obviously, this is a very high division. We do have a few drivers reserving up, which is good to see. Obviously, the likes of Whiff, who has been phenomenal in Division 3. So really good to see him up there as well in Division 2 and making it through into Q3 as well. So big round of applause there on that one.
Yeah, I mean, that's very, very impressive here. I mean, we've seen some very impressive drives from a lot of these drivers in recent times. Granted, I know he didn't get any major position, but I'm still remembering back to Interlagos last week and Jizzle putting medium tires into like the 30s in lap count. I think he finally put on lap 34 out of 36. So he went almost 100% race distance on a set of medium tires, which is baffling to say the least. We've seen drivers manage the tires. We've seen some absolute tire whisperers here at Rush in the past, but that was just that was a spectacle. That was very interesting to watch.
Yes, definitely. It's going to be. I think this is going to be an interesting race. We've got some very, very quick guys on here. JF7 deciding to start on the mediums. The guys are all out. We've got Code on a lap, Aussie2K, Bibs, and Roller, and JF7 all on a lap. So are we going to see some of these guys work together? Because it does look like, if you're looking at the track map, we've got the 2 McLarens and the 2 Alpines working together. So this could be advantage for both of those teams to get their second driver or first driver more points. Higher up in the in Q3 tonight, we could see, a double McLaren on the top or the Alpine.
I mean, it could indirectly lead to more points because I mean it's not super easy to overtake on this track. You really only have a few good overtaking spots here, unlike Interlagos, where basically almost every part of the track is a good overtaking spot compared to what we have here in Japan. But I mean, the season is getting closer and closer to a close, so I know that there's a lot of battles going on up and down the field in all the divisions. Every constructor, every driver trying to score as many points as possible for their team, for their own sakes, and also for the overalls. So, I mean, granted, while Alpine may not directly be fighting for a Constructors' Championship here, they can always put more effort into the overalls and try to boost their overall standings come the end of the season because we're running out of races. And it's as we get closer and closer to the end of the season, those points become more and more scarce. So drivers and teams really want to try to maximize performance, and that starts in qualifying.
Oh yeah, no, without a doubt. We saw Division One the other night. We've seen the battle go on there. It's a three-way battle. Um, and then in here it's pretty close between Bevs and Yuki, and we'll have another graphic that we'll make regarding that. So there's some really really close battles in Division One. Two, um, four. I think is getting quite close as well. Three, it looks like it could be pluggers. We'll have to wait and see, depending on what happens in the next four races. Five, that looks like it could be Vettels, but we'll have to wait and see there. And then six is a big battle going on there. So there's battles across all divisions, which you want to see. And this is another one. Obviously Bev's, Yuki Bear, they're the two. Shifty Wiz has been very consistent most of the season. Still hasn't got that win, and unfortunately didn't make it into Q3. But we've got the likes of Coda, who's been out of action for a long period of time. He's back, but he's serving a big penalty. Aiden as Raiden has been very, very good and consistent the last few weeks. And Jizzle, another driver. But the problem we've seen with Jizzle so many times is he does fantastic in qualifying, but then just goes way too long on the tyres and then ruins his race records.
Yeah, we saw that. I mean, as much as I love seeing tires go to the brink of extinction in some races, strategy is about 50% of the battle when it comes to racing, especially in Formula One. Because, I mean, honestly, even if you don't have the pace, you can still win out on strategy. And yeah, I agree. Jizzle's strategy in Brazil, as entertaining as it was to watch, it just really did not help his case. He was second a lap slower than a lot of the cars that he was going with. So, yeah, I mean, he's got pace, but he just really needs to work on that strategy element. And I think he could do really, really well, especially for this Ferrari squad that is kind of struggling a bit in the overalls. I actually pulled up the overalls while we are talking about standings. Ferrari is currently 7th in the overalls with 1,172 points. Red Bull is at 1332, and Haas behind them is at 971. So they're not under any immediate threat, but every little bit is going to count, especially as we get closer and closer to the end of the season. And Jizzle being the lone Ferrari really needs to try to maximize points for the squad. He's doing pretty good now. He is on top of the timing table right now with a 127.6. So fantastic lap for him, but Coda is only 8 thousandths behind, so it's really close up here at the front.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's getting very, very interesting. The top three, all in the 27s, and then all the way down from P4 down to P8 in the 28s. We've still got One Truth has still not set a time at the moment. We've got 3 minutes to go. Looks like we're all going to be all set and ready to go at the moment. So, Q3 is nearly done and dusted, and we're going to get on to the race. What do you think we're going to see? Are we going to see any of these guys work together? Are we going to see the toe from the McLarens? Are we going to see the toe from the Alpines? Obviously got one Alpine in P3 at the moment, one Alpine in P10, one McLaren in P4, and one in down in P6. So, what do you think? What's the strategy going into the closing stages of Q3?
Getting a toe is going to be necessary, I think, if you want to try to grab that pole position, because it has been proven to be, it's pretty strong coming out of Spoon and also on that Starfish straight, but not much else on the track. But I mean, it's still going to help you out, still going to get you into those good qualifying spots. But so far, Jizzle has not had a toe at all, and he's got a mid 127. So I think it's just going to be all about raw pace, but for certain, you're going to see these teams try everything that they can to try to go ahead and, within the legality of Rush, try to go ahead and get up into pole position. So I am expecting a toe from all of these teams that do have 2 drivers. So that will be your McLaren, your Alpine, and your Red Bull. So, I mean, but hey, JF7. I don't think JF7 had a toe when he got pole or like got top of the times in Q2. So we'll just have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, we are about to see 2 minutes to go. This will be the last start here. We've got everyone on an out lap. We've got 2 guys still into the pits. I think everyone is coming out. You can see a little bit of a distance between a few of the drivers. The 2 McLarens, quite a bit of a distance, and the 2 Alpines, quite a bit of a distance. So this is all for themselves now, and we're going to see what happens here. So every single car looks like it is going to be out on track. We've got 1 minute and 42 seconds to go, and we're about to see a very interesting start to Q3 and the last start of it as Aussie 2K is in Sector 1 at the moment. Is he up or down on his time? Let's have a look. It's all about Sector 1. You get it wrong, it's game over. You get it right, you've got a massive opportunity of taking pole position. We'll have to wait and see. Coming into Sector 1 now, what is his time? Is he up or down on his time? We're seeing yellows flash around in Sector 2. Obviously, cars slow, getting out of the way for the driver of Aussie 2K. 2.5 tenths up on his time. Very quick. That would push him into a 28.5. So he'll only be going into P6. So he's got more pace in the car. He needs to get a move on because obviously the front 3 are in the 27s.
Yeah, he's got to make this lap count. I mean, he got through the first tricky part and he made an improvement. So the rest of it is just trying to keep the car within the white lines, trying to keep the car on the track, and trying to keep the car from sliding around. I know we're in Japan, but you do not need to Tokyo drift. This isn't Need for Speed. It will not help your time. And the slide is trying to power slide around here. He's up by half a second now, coming out of Sector 2, going into 130R, coming up to the Casio Triangle. So we'll see what he's going to do. If he can continue that improvement. We saw this in Q2 earlier on where he was about a second down, and then at the last stages he improves by 0.6 of a second. He's up into 4th, and it is a fantastic time there for Aussie 2K GOAT. Not quite enough, though, to crack into the top 3, but a second row start wouldn't be too bad here in Suzuka.
Yeah, no, a really, really good start there for Aussie 2K. Probably one of his best starts of the season as well. We're looking on Dale Bevs. Dale Bevs, I think he was only up a 10th at the moment, going up 130R, going into Casio Triangle. This guy needs a good start. He's 4.5 tenths up, so he's looking in to put on to the 27s. What's it going to be like going into the Casio Triangle? He needs to get this right, and he could be looking at a top 3. Let's have a look. Coming into the Casio, done and dusted, coming around the final corner, burning that ERS. Benny puts into the 27s. Yes, he does, and he goes pole with a 27.5, and Roller is behind him. He puts it into 4th, drops Aussie 2K down to 6th. Aiden is Raiden. He is down into 5th as well. Who else is coming around the corner? We've got Coda. Stays P3, doesn't improve massively there. Interesting to see. We've got Aiden as Raiden, but it's actually One Truth is going to cross the line first. He comes through Casio Triangle, coming through the last couple of corners. And what's it going to be for One Truth? Up in a P6. Aiden is Raiden now, his teammate. We've also got the other Red Bull driver of Limitless down there in P8. He's done and dusted. Aiden is Raiden goes pole position with a 127.562. Is anyone else going to be able to knock them off? Chisel is done. He looks like he's going to stay P3. He's invalidated. And that is it. And JF7 knocks it out the park with takes pole position at 27.4. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. No one voted on JF7, and he takes pole position for the Japanese Grand Prix round 16 for Division 2. Back to you, Rekus.
I want to sincerely apologize to JF7. I was not familiar with your game here today. You clearly came to play ball here today, but yeah, fantastic lap there from JDI. He put in a very fantastic lap here, about 88 hundredths of a second away from Aiden is Raiden. But even then, for Aiden is Raiden, that is a really fantastic time. As we go down the rest of the list, we got Dale Bevs in P3, followed by Jizzle, Coda, MJ Roller, the One Truth, Aussie 2K GOAT, Limitless Draco, and With Matisse rounding out our top 10. And I think we have a absolute cinematic race coming here in Japan, coming up here to you guys very, very shortly. 27 laps, I believe, around this historic circuit. I think this track's going to be fireworks. And yeah, a very interesting pole position here. I know JF7's fast. I wasn't expecting him to get pole. It is a very pleasant surprise, mind you, considering how Aston Martin is doing in the constructors here in Div 2. So it's a result that they really needed, but sunshine here, and I think we have a fun race ahead of us, like you said earlier on.
Yeah, definitely. I will just ask you to get a quick screenshot of the qualifying order, just in case we do get a red flag. So if you could do that straight away, that would be awesome when we're good to go. And then, no, this looks like it's going to be a very, very good night of racing. Let's just see. Hopefully it's clean. And a great start for JF7. What a start. Actually surprised probably most of us tonight tuning in, and also us in the comms box with that performance. So, Rickers, I'll let you take it away. Over to you, mate.
All right, you see those 5 red lights going out, and it's lights out, and away we go. A little bit of jockeying around for position going into turn 1. It is a very fast turn 1, so it is going to be just pandemonium going through this first sector. Hopefully nobody collides. I don't think we have any collisions here at the moment. A very clean first sector, and that is usually easier said than done. But Lamb is off the track, and he is straight lining it. That Williams is a rally car momentarily. But very minimal drama here at the opening start of the race. I was expecting a bit more drama, but it is always a pleasant surprise when we don't have calamity going into turn 1. These drivers are all fighting tooth and nail, trying to get these positions early on, because we know that this is a track where you can't really overtake super well. JDI gets a bit snappy on corner exit. Aiden did take the lead of this race momentarily. He's going to try to send it around the outside, going into Spoon, but nope, he's going to have to just wait a little bit. But this has been a very interesting opening lap here, and I think it's just a little bit of a precursor of things to come. I think everybody's on the same tire. Everybody is on that medium compound. Yeah. So no specific tire advantage, and I think that we're going to have a very interesting race here, and this is just lap 1.
Yeah, no, it's a really, really good start. Very, very similar to Division 4. No one really going for a move. We are going to see some moves going on with DRS as Aiden is rated. It does look like to go for a move here. We've got Coda in that P3 position. Are we going to see a move from Aiden as rated? He moves over to the left-hand side there. Doesn't go for the move there. Stays in formation at the moment. So, and this is one of the things that we saw in the real F1. Very difficult to make a move here. You have to be timing it to perfection to get the move done. So it's either wait for a mistake, wait for someone to go wide in the S's in Sector 1, or then overtake them in the hairpin coming up now. So we'll just jump on board with Aiden as Aiden, just to give you a little bit of an insight of a track guide here going in to Suzuka, going through the Dunlop section there, then coming for the hairpin. So this is where you can make an overtake. You can either go wide or quite tight, and this is where also incidents can happen as well. As you can see, he's staying very, very close to JF7 as well, and he's coming in to obviously Spoon very, very soon, which is around about now. Gets onto the curb there. You don't want to ride too much to the curb, and this is where we can see most of the overtakes, because of the slipstream is so powerful going up 130R, and a lot of people do not really want to make the move unless they are 100% confident they're going to make the move. As Ada's way, as you can see, the slipstream pushes into so much, and really making a double maneuver in Casio Triangle is very difficult. It's going to be very tough. Now he gets onto the DRS, and now you can see him make the move very easily. So yeah, bit of a track guide there, Rekus, but pretty simple, isn't it? That's where you are going to make the overtakes, as we see in Aiden's Raiden take the lead of the race on lap 3 out of 27.
Yeah, just to kind of double back to your point about the hairpin earlier coming out of the Dunlop section of this track. We actually almost saw Aiden is ready to make a move on lap 1 there, because a bit of squirreliness coming from the Aston Martin of JDI Mr. Thunder, also known as JF7. And so, with this track, one of the keys to this track is keeping your rear tires from sliding all over the place. Rear stability is such a crucial part of the track, just because you're going through so many corners at such a rapid speed that if you get a little bit squirrely, then it just opens the door wide open for someone like Aiden Raiden or any of these other drivers to make a move. But here's the thing, though. An interesting thing about this track right now is that everybody is within DRS range of each other. So we're going to see a lot of slipstreaming and a lot of position changes in these opening stages. And taking a look at some of our fastest movers right now, the most movers is actually there's quite a few of them because Sparko, Watanabe, and then the two drivers with quality bands from earlier, Yuki Bear and Hato, all have moved up 3 positions. But Draco is down 7, so not the greatest of starts for the Red Bull driver at the moment. And that's not good.
There's an incident there. So we got lap 4, Yuki and Watanabe. Lap 4, Yuki and Watanabe. And then we also had lap 4. We had Yuki and Lam. So 2 incidents with the Mercedes driver there. He got the move. Looked like he was going to get the move done, and he's. I don't know if he's got a bit of damage to the car, but that's pushed him down 4.5 seconds. And this is the problem that we were going to say in Japan, trying to get through, trying to make moves, and he's had a bit of an incident there. With the Aston Martin, and then also with the Williams driver. So not the best of starts there for the driver of the Mercedes of Yuki Bear there. 4 seconds back, and that will be looked at by the stewards. Lap 4, both on lap 4.
Yeah, really unfortunate too, especially because Yuki is trying so hard to win this championship. I mean, it's gonna be an uphill battle anyway because of the advantage that Dale Bevs has coming into this round, and starting, even that quali band was going to make things a little bit tricky anyway, but having that spin as well really is going to...
Jizzle's gone wide. Jizzle's gone wide. Sorry, Jizzle's gone wide. That's brought Munster through, and that's also brought Sparko through. So he's dropped another position. And as we've seen there, JF7 has lost the lead again to Aiden's Raiden. Back to you. Sorry, Reckers, a little bit of drama going on there in the mid-pack as Jizzle and Whiffer going side by side. Does he go for it? Goes for the move. Oh, Jizzle loses off, goes into the grass. He's going to drop way back down. Little bit of an incident there between Jizzle and Whiff. We'll have to wait and see there. Lap 5.
How does he not have damage?
Jizzle and Whiff. There we go. It's all going on the onboards at the moment. I'm onto it, Rekus. No change at the moment, but 2 biggest changes are Jizzle and Yuki Bear going from where they were to bottom of the pile of the grid tonight.
Yeah, Jizzle is now down 13 places from where we started at the beginning of this race here today. So it's really unfortunate stuff there for the lone Ferrari, the lone Italian stallion on track here tonight.
Oh, there's a big incident!
So unfortunate. No, there isn't. Oh, that's a big one. That's Sparko.
Sparko is round. Oh, he's into the wall. He's got a bit of drama going on there. And he's going to have damage. So we've got lap 5. Sparko.
Yeah, Sparko had a big moment. He's got damage on that car too. Quite a bit of it.
Aussie 2K. Was that Aussie 2K or was that Lamb? Oh, was that?
Oh, he's spun again? Or
that's Hato.
That was a drift.
Sparko and Hato, I think it was. No, it wasn't. It was Aussie 2K. Aussie 2K. There we go. Right, it's all going off. The few incidents. No safety car. Limitless is into the pits. He's gone to the hards. Sparko into the pits as well. He's on the hard, going on the hards. Yuki up at a P16, back up to the front. Aiden is Raiden in that P2 position. If you've tuned in with us tonight, 26 viewers tuning in. JF7 in P1. Aiden is Raiden. P2. The both McLarens in P3 and P4 having a great night so far. Not really had anyone really go near them apart from Coda, who looks ready to pounce on the back of Roller. So can Roller hold him up so Bevs can push on? We've then got One Truth down there in P6, the other Alpine driver. Great night for Alpine and McLaren so far. Aussie 2K, he has held that position in P7. Does have an incident looking over him though with the incident with Sparko. Then we've got Boltsaru. There's a bit of drama going on here in this midfield as we've got Boltsaru and with Matif in P8, P9. Shifty Wizard in P10. Good start from him from where he was in qualifying as well. Hato, good start from him up in the P11. Following the DRS train as you can. That's what you've got to do. Watanabe in P12. Lam in P13. Bit of an incident with him and Yuki at the start. Then we've got Dido, his TP and fellow driver. Then we've got Jizzle down there in P15. Yuki in 16.
Sparko's off again.
And Sparko is round again. So he may have internal side pod damage. We'll have to keep an eye on there. We've got Dido. Oh, Dido's gone off there. A little bit of an incident. Oh, Dido's really lost the back end there. I don't know if he's got serious damage on that Williams. Let's have a look. There's a lot of drama happening now. And no safety cars. But Bev's up in a P2. Got the job done on JF7. And he needs to stay within that DRS of Aiden's Raiden Rickus.
He does, yeah. Otherwise, Aiden is Raiden can really pull away from him. Aiden is Raiden. He is on a charge tonight. He's having a fantastic night here tonight. I mean, Alpine in general are having a pretty decent night. Although it is worth noting that the One Truth did pit. He is now onto the hard tire compound. Going to try to take these all the way to the end. But an interesting thing to note is that Sparko's in the wall again. He's lost his entirety of his front wing.
Yeah, he's got rear wing damage. He couldn't take 130R flat, so he's gone straight into the wall. And I think that might be a retirement for him. I think he's done and dusted. Yeah, he'll be coming into the pits, and I think that is going to be a retirement. A painful night for the Visa Cash App driver of Sparko there. I don't know if he'll want to continue. Yeah, there you go. Done and dusted. So, unfortunate for Sparko. Diffuser damage. And here in 130R, going to be painful, isn't it? Going to be very, very painful having damage to a car with the diffuser. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, because with 130R, it's a really fast corner, so you need every bit of downforce that you can. And I mean, for the longest time, you could not take 130R flat out. It wasn't until Fernando Alonso in 2006, I believe, where trying to take 130R flat out really kind of got popular and became kind of normal. Is just because, I mean, this generation of cars create so much downforce with the Venturi tunnels, the ground effects. I mean, I'm not going to get into all the sciencey stuff. I'm not Adrian Newey, but I mean, these cars have so much downforce that you need, if you have any kind of damage, then trying to take 130R at any kind of competitive speed is borderline impossible. And I think that's exactly what happened with Sparko. And now, unfortunately, for the Visa Cash Up team, it is no points across the board. One driver had a race ban. The other one, unfortunately, just got too much damage, and that was pretty much all she wrote for the V-Carb team. So unfortunate for them. Jizzle is dropping a few more spots as well. I think he's getting swallowed up. Yuki is up some positions. He's into the points now. So, but I mean, because right now between Bevs and Yuki, it is a 23-point gap. So not a very big gap at all, considering what could happen here. But if Bevs get a win here and Yuki is down into the lower reaches of the points, then that gap is going to extend quite a bit and making that Mount Everest that Yuki has to climb to win this championship even higher than it previously was.
Yeah, definitely. But the biggest problem here that I'm seeing is we're on lap 9 out of 27, coming up to next lap is 10. So we're going to have 17 laps of racing, and there is a 5.3 second gap between Bolts and Coda. That is not good. And we're seeing Aussie 2K get the move done into that P6 position. And it's 5.6, and these guys need to pit as well. And yeah, that's one hell of that is one hell of a gap. That is a big gap to fill. And especially when you've got Coda, Roller, JF7, Aiden as Raiden, and Bevs all within the DRS working with each other, that gap is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So unless there is a safety car between now and the end of this race, this is going to be a very painful experience from lap 6 down. Oh, sorry, P6 down.
Yeah, definitely. My brain autocorrected what you said. But yeah, I think this is when we might see some of these drivers make this undercut, because the undercut can be pretty powerful. We've seen the undercut work magic in previous rounds here in Division 2. So we know that the undercut can work, but the big thing about the...
Yes and no.
Because there's so many factors that goes... Go ahead.
Well, yes and no. Look at Limitless Draco. He's got 27 seconds to the leader. 30 seconds of Wonton. 33 for One Truth. And 42 for Dido. So these guys can pit and come out in front. So even if these guys, and they're on the, obviously on the pressure tyres, on those hards, Coda's out! Coda is out of this race, and that changes the dynamics.
And it's a safety car.
As it's a safety car, and there we go. Bevs and Roller have continued. Everyone else is in the pits. What has happened to Coda? Limitless has left the session. I'll get him back in as soon as possible. Have you got Limitless as a friend?
Yeah.
Yep, awesome. I'll get you to send him an invite because he has just left the
All right.
system.
Just did.
Wow. Coda, out of this race. What's happened there? I don't know what's happened, but this brings everyone back into it, which is going to make it very interesting. 17 laps on the mediums to the end, or hards, whatever you want to
Yeah.
decide.
Forget about what we were talking about with
Yeah,
the
forget it.
undercut working or
Completely
not
forget what we
working.
just spoke about, 'cause
Safety
that's not
car just
gonna-
changes the whole dynamic
Yeah.
of how this race is played out. So, yeah, interesting. I'm curious on what happened because we both missed it completely. We just saw that, oh, code is out and boom, safety car. So interesting. I mean, it's going to be a saving grace for those drivers that had that massive gap, like you said, and for some of the drivers who just pit in, which I believe it's just JDI, Aussie, and Boltaru. I think the pit stop might have been at almost a impeccable time there for those three cars, but I mean, still they got to try to catch up to a 17-second gap. And I mean, we're gonna have the safety car for at least a few laps, I'd imagine, but yeah, like you said, this whole dynamic of the race just got flipped up onto its head, and I think it's gonna be exciting to see how this goes because Bevs is making moves, Yuki is making moves, so the two championship contenders are they're really trying to make some progress here. And I'm sure Yuki is really glad about the safety car because he's going to get really brought up into this group of cars. So he can really try to maximize that point gain and try to do damage limitation. Because that's what his race is about today, is just damage limitation. Trying to make sure that Bevs does not increase that gap any further than it already is, or if there is a increase of the gap, trying to minimize that increase as much as humanly possible.
Well, definitely, and Bevs just comes out in front, was in front, out in front. So, great position to be in. JF7 and P2. Aiden's Raiden has got the jump on roller because they're double stack of McLaren. So, P1 and P4, they'll be happy with that. Limitless is out. I don't know what's happened there. I don't know if he's retired or if that is a can't take control. Let me know, Limitless, in the chat, please. Yeah, because he is out of this race. And now he's now joined. So, yeah, that's unfortunate for Limitless. So, both Red Bulls. Yeah, Coda, really unfortunate for you, mate, coming back and out of this race. Very unfortunate. But, no, we're going back into it. Yuki's third the points, massive opportunity. Yeah, I can't believe what we're seeing here. Everyone back into it on lap 11 out of 27. And everyone on the hard tyres. So it's basically to the end of this race now for these guys.
Yeah, there's honestly just that this turned into a sprint race here at the end of this, so it's gonna be interesting to see how that's gonna play out. But yeah, I mean, it's kind because if you look back to the start of the race, everybody was on that medium tire compound to start off with, so I think everybody's really just running the exact same strategy. Now that the safety car is here, and that's the thing about the safety car. I mean, it's unfortunate that we don't see full pedal to the metal racing the entire time, but the other side of that coin, it is an advantage for us because we see all these drivers bunched up again, and we can see some really spicy moves as the safety car does come in this lap. So luckily for our amazing spectators at home, you really didn't have to wait long to get back racing.
No, definitely not. And everyone is back underneath. But everyone is back together with the safety car, and Dale Bibbs will take this safety car restart away. And really unfortunate there for Limitless to take control, get glitch, and will be received 1 point. And unfortunately, Coda out of this race. So we've lost Limitless, Draco, Coda, and Sparko. And we are going on board Dale Bibbs for the safety car restart. Raiden is right behind JF7, looks to go for the move, doesn't go for the move, now going to stay within formation, and they're going to have to wait for a couple of laps before we start to see moves again. So it's staying within formation, and here we go. Here's the order. Bevs, JF7, Aiden's Raiden, Roller, Aussie 2K, Bolt, Whiff, Shifty, Watanabe, Hado. He'll be amazed of the start he's had from where he was to where he is now from the quali ban. Then we've got Lamb, then we've got Jizzle, then One Truth, Yuki Bear, and Dido are your top 15. Everyone will score points. So that's good news. But not good news for Yuki Bear at the moment, as he is down in P14 and his championship rivalist Dale Bevs is leading this race. That must be a little bit painful, but you can't worry about it, can you, Rekas? He's just got to concentrate and try and make up as many moves as he can, and hopefully wait for a mistake from people, because it looks like it's going to be a painful night for Yuki down there in P14.
Yeah, I mean, he's really just got to get his head down and concentrate. I mean, you got damage limitation is going to be the main thing that's going to be on Yuki Bear's mind tonight. I mean, that was kind of already his motto from the get-go because of that qualifying ban, just trying to make up as many positions and trying to make sure that Bevs does not increase that gap to a insurmountable level. You don't have a lot of races left. We only have 3 more rounds left to go after this one, and then we have the mystery round, I believe, so time is not of the essence. You don't really have a lot of time left to go in this season before you wrap up here with season 8. So you got to try to make moves. Yuki does make a move. He's up in the P13, and he just needs to make a really solid recovery drive if he wants to try to keep these championship hopes alive. We know Yuki Bear is fast. We know he's got pace. He's been on good form as of late, but it's going to be tricky for the rest of the season. It is definitely an uphill battle for the Mercedes man.
Yeah, definitely. We see Wonton getting past Shifty there, a lot more on the ERS down that main straight, and he took that to his advantage and got the job done. Shifty will stay behind though. He'll harvest that battery and he'll have another go at Wonton. Wonton within the DRS battle with everyone, so yeah, he'll be happy with that position. Aston there in P3 and P8, really good job from them. A little bit further up to the top. Because Aussie2K, he is looking very quick at Japan. He is in P5 and his teammate NTP in P10 looking to make the move there. Ada's Raiden looking to make the move on Bevs through 130R. Is he getting the move done? This is how much slipstream you can get going into Casio Triangle. You really have to slow down the brakes, but I reckon Ada's Raiden will pounce on Bevs for the DRS now coming up on to the main straight. At the moment, we're seeing no changes at the top, just a few changes at the bottom. But look at that. Look at that whole DRS chain. Everyone all in a straight line. No one making a move there, apart from Ada's Raiden, who does get the job done on Bevs into P1 and now into P2. So far, so good. Great drive from some of these guys. Unfortunately, with the retirement of Coda and Limitless not taking control and Sparko obviously having serious damage to that diffuser, not a bad race from some of these guys so far, Rex.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure Alpine is going to be very, very, very impressed and proud of Aiden for putting on a stellar performance so far in this race. Even more so if they can win, because as far as I know, I don't think Alpine has gotten a race win this season, at least in Division 2. Maybe if there's a race I'm not remembering, but I'm pretty sure that this would be Alpine's first win of the season here. And I mean, Alpine really needs points. They aren't really in a great spot in the Constructors overall or in Div 2. So, I mean, once again, like I said, there's so many... Go ahead.
You are correct. You are correct. Sorry, I was just checking that out. They haven't got a win. So yeah, you are right, and he is in a very good position at the moment. Sorry, I'll take that back to you. I was just letting you know.
Okay, yeah, actually, thanks for confirming it because I wasn't quite sure yet. But yeah, I mean, this would be the first win of the season in Division 2, so I mean, that's going to mean the world for this Alpine team. And I mean, it's all going to be for the Constructors, and even if he doesn't win, he would get a... Well, he had a fastest lap momentarily because of, well, Yuki Bear then getting it, which is going to help Yuki Bear's chances. He's up in the P11, so he's been making moves here since the safety car restart.
Yeah, JF7 as well has just got the job done on Bevs, and Roller and Bevs have swapped. So a little bit of team orders there from the McLaren garage. We saw Jizzle go off as well. He's now 9 seconds behind Dido. Dido losing the DRS. He obviously doesn't look like he likes Japan, but he's doing his best, and that's the main thing. Yuki up in the P11 now, getting the job done on Lamb. And obviously the One Truth as well. So yeah, he's making moves, but he's in a big battle. He is in a big train, which is going to be an interesting night for him at the moment. But he is getting points, and that's the main thing. We are seeing Ada's Raiden lead the way. No one at the DRS at the moment. Everyone in it, apart from Dido and Jizzle. So all 13 cars, all in a DRS train. And yeah, 2 more laps and we'll come to the closing stages. I will be halfway through as JF7 looking ready to pounce on Aiden as Raiden. And some of these guys are on a little bit more older tyre, only 1 lap older. So we've got Watanabe on 2 lap olders from others, and One Truth on 8 lap, Yuki on 5, Aiden on 4, and then most of the other guys on 4. So here we go. Roller ready to pounce. Got the same amount of ERS as the Aston, but he can't do anything. He's been boxed in, and he has to stay within that formation of P3. He tried to make the move there, but JF7 was basically too much in the slipstream of Aiden as Raiden. That could have been curtains there for the McLaren driver, MJ Roller. And Chisel is out, and he's decided to retire. Another retirement, down to 14 drivers. But bit of drama there for Roller and the front 2.
Yeah, indeed, and I mean that's not what you want at this stage of the race. But yeah, I mean good defensive driving there from Aiden, put in a fantastic defensive effort. I mean, you want to make overtaking as hard as humanly possible. I mean that's pretty much a no-brainer, but especially on this track because it's so hard to make overtakes, and overtakes are not super easy on this track as we've seen. I mean, in the real world F1, I mean, we saw almost no overtaking, and I think it was like the top 10 or something stayed in the same position that they started in, so, or at least close to that ballpark in the real life 2025 Japanese Grand Prix. But yeah, it's you really want to try to make your car as wide as possible, and right now Aiden is making the Alpine team extraordinarily wide, and because really 130R, that little small hairpin out of the Dunlop section, and turn 1 are really the only spots to overtake on this track, at least consistently. I mean, we've seen some pretty crazy overtakes in the S's, as we see JDI does get the pass for the lead of this race through the DRS zone, the singular one on this track. But regardless, it's not easy to overtake, so if you're the driver behind, you really want to make the moves as soon as possible, and the other car, you really just want to try to make your opponent burn up his tires as much as possible.
Yeah, the concentration levels that at the moment we've got 10 laps to go of this race. The concentration levels are fantastic. Everyone all in the DRS of each one. You got Hato in a Mercedes sandwich with Shifty in front and Yuki in behind. He's doing a great job, obviously holding up the man that is fighting for that championship fight with Dale Bevs, who is in P4 at the moment compared to Yuki's P11. He's doing a great job. Shifty staying within the DRS of Wonton, hasn't been able to get the move done. Got a lot more ERS than Wonton, so he's probably just waiting for the right moment. But you do not want to run out of time, and that's the problem. With 10 laps to go, anything can happen. We've got 2 kicks. They are in a very, very stationary position in P6 and P7. Aussie 2K having a great race. Slowly falling back from Bale Bevs, though. 9 tenths. So he really doesn't want to lose that DRS, because otherwise we're going to see another gap. And we saw that form very early on, didn't we? Before the safety car restart of a 5-second gap. As we're seeing JF7, the fastest car on track. Aiden's Raiden going for the move there. And the 2 McLarens, they're in a bit of a difficult position here, because they can't make the move on JF7 or Aiden's Raiden. And this is the problem with the Japanese circuit. Going down that main straight, it's only P2 that can make that move on P1. And this year we've got so much more ERS than P2 and P1 in P3 and P4 records.
Even then, unless you're in the final few laps, you really don't even want to burn that ERS, because I'm looking at Aiden right now, and he's still got like 86% of ERS coming out of the S's. So even if you have that ton of ERS, I mean, we're not really at a stage of the race where you want to be kind of maxing out your battery and just depleting everything super quickly. You want to try to keep some battery for that final push. And yeah, I mean, unless MJ Roller or Dale really has a very good slipstream, a ridiculous slingshot, or a immaculate ton of ERS compared to the 2 cars in front, yeah, JDI is really the only car that can really try to make an overtake on Aiden and vice versa throughout this race. So, like you said, that is the thing about this Japanese Grand Prix. It is super difficult to really try to make a move that sticks unless you're pretty much right up the gearbox of the car up ahead. Although you will see a lot of position changes, like, you know, kind of like a bunch of relay races going on between P1 and P2 and several other positions on this track. So either you just got to have that ERS advantage, or you got to just try to force the opponent ahead of you to make a mistake.
Yep. As we see there, Yuki Bear making up another spot, getting past Hado up into P10 and having to put it on none in through some of those areas. Oh, nearly losing it on the curb there. He's got Lamb behind, and yeah, 5.5 tenths at the moment between the Haas and the Mercedes driver. Shifty Wizard had so much more ERS there than Wonton, and Wonton was burning to try and keep him out in front. That Aston Martin has got some serious straight line speed. So we're seeing there that Shifty is maintaining his ERS a lot better than the Aston Martin driver, as he nearly goes into the back of the Aston Martin driver, loses the position now to his teammate, and he lets it through. Yuki now up into P9, Shifty dropping down to P10. That could have been curtains for the Mercedes driver. You don't see him make mistakes often, and that was a big mistake there that he's made. He's dropped himself down into P10. So Yuki is now going to put the pressure on Wonton, who's got 40% more than Wonton. So Yuki has got some serious speed in that Mercedes. Back up to the front though, nothing really changing. We've still got Roller in P3 and Bev's in P4, Ozu2K in P5, and then JF7 and Aiden's Raiden in P1. So Dido 5 seconds back from One Truth in the DRS. So all 13 cars all within the DRS. 7 laps to go of this race, and it looks like it's going to be a very, very close finish here, because JF7 does make the move. Oh! Aiden as Raiden was looking, Roller was looking for the move there. We're seeing yellows, and Dido is in. So I reckon he'll go soft, he'll go for the fastest lap, steal that away, and yeah, and hope for anything that happens at the end. But yeah, Roller nearly went for the move there, but didn't decide to go for it. But back down. Yuki now putting the pressure on Wonton. He's in P9. Still good points for him, but probably not the points that he's wanting, Mekas.
I mean, it's not as bad as it was earlier on in the race around the time of the safety car restart, where Yuki was down in P14 or 15, like at the bottom of the barrel, and Bevs was leading this race. So, I mean, once again, we've been talking about damage limitation for Yuki here, and I mean, the damage is getting smaller and smaller to his championship aspirations as Yuki tries to get that move done onto Watanabe and just does not quite get it done into Spoon. However, pretty good shot and a good slipstream going into 130R. We'll see if he can make the move here. I don't think he's close enough. He's about 4 tenths behind, 3 tenths behind now. Yeah, definitely not close enough, but he might be able to get this move done into the DRS zone once we get through the Casio Triangle and then turn number 17 on this track. So he's going to try to put pedal to the metal. Really wants these positions, especially because he wants to try to close that gap to Dale Bevs as Aiden does take the lead of the Grand Prix. And, I mean, we're down to the final 7 laps of this race. So, I mean, it's all going to go off from here.
Yeah, and I'm seeing the frustration of Roller, as you can see, coming down that main straight, getting very, very close to JF7, and then obviously losing a little bit of time to the front too, because they were actually quite close together, and they looked like there didn't seem to be much speed. Roller trying to go on the outside, trying to get the job done, didn't make the decision because he thought, I'm not going to make it. So he really has to think about what he's going to do. Otherwise, it looks like McLaren could cement this P3 and P4. Still good points for McLaren, but it looks like it's going to be a bit of a struggle to get past JF7 and Aiden as Raiden, because they look like they've got the pace. They're stationary in those positions, and it looks like it could finish the way as we're seeing at the moment, as we do see Yuki do get past Watanabe, up into P8 at the moment, Wonton down into P9, and we know how much speed that Aston Martin's got. Yuki now making a move on whiff and bolts. We see a bit of a change going on with the kicks, so we are seeing moves happening left, right and centre. We will be making drive of the day on lap 24, so keep an eye on that. Are we going to see any changes here? Because Beves is getting quite close to his teammate of Roller. Roller's getting quite close to JF7. Aiden's Rainer's tried to pull away. This is the chance for Roller. He's got 42%. JF7's got a lot more. Look at this. He's going for the move. He's trying to follow in the slipstream. He can't get the job done. Roller goes around the outside. Doesn't get it. Stays within P3 again. It's getting very, very Tetris at the front there, Rickus, between the McLarens and the Aston.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it looked like he was trying to send it around the outside, but just got forced wide by JF7 there. So, excuse me, good defensive driving there from the Aston, but MG is just not getting things done. And you got to start thinking potentially for McLaren and the TP. Is there going to be any driver swaps happening here? Are they going to try to switch the positions so Dale can get the most out of this if this continues on? Because Yuki is closing that gap. He's closing in on the championship. Now, granted, Dale is still going to get a pretty hefty points increase compared to Yuki. Extended that gap quite a bit. I mean, it's a small gap. It's only 23 points. So all it takes is for one DNF and one win for Yuki. And then Yuki is on the top of the standings. So at what point do you as McLaren start trying to say, hey, we need Dale to continue getting more points in this championship to try to continue to pull away from Yuki? Are we going to see that in this race today? But then again, even if we do see that the team orders, when do you execute? Because right now it does seem like MJ Rose got more pace. He was trying to get a pass, would get one free, but does not quite get it going into turn one. Once again, the Great Wall of Alpine and Aston just blocking the McLaren man from getting any further positions. This has really been a trend in today's race, hasn't it? As we're down to the final 5 laps of this Japanese Grand Prix.
Oh, Bolts is so close to the back of Aussie 2K. That could have been curtains for both of them. Aussie 2K has lost a little bit of time there, 5.5 tenths. He looks a little bit all over the place with his rears. And Bolts of Room is really pushing. With Matif is behind as well. Yuki is hovering. We've got Watanabe's going to go on the outside of Yuki. Sends it. Does he get the job done? Oh, he loses position. He's going to battle as well. Lamb's going to go into the mix of this. Lamb gets past Watanabe. Watanabe's got that all wrong. And Lamb now up in a P9. And he looks like he's going to put pressure on Yuki Bear. And a little bit of drama in there. And we're seeing, I think the only way that we're going to see this move happening is in 130R between Roller and JF7. The problem is JF7 has just as much ERS or even more than the McLaren driver. So this making it extremely difficult for him to make the move. As you can see, he's getting very, very close, and he needs to get very close coming into Casco Triangle. He's very close now. This is the closest he's been probably all night. 74% against 84. JF7's got serious amount of battery. And here we go. Roller moves happening here. JF7 moves over. Roller's got the move done. Has he got the move done? Yes, he does. He gets past Aiden's Raiden up in a P2. Great job there from Roller. Great racing by the top 3. Bez into P4. What's going on a little bit further down the back? We've got With Matif still holding up Yuki Bear. Lamb putting the pressure on the Mercedes driver. This could finish how it's finishing at the moment, as we're seeing here. With Matif putting it on Nunn as well, and we're seeing Bolt Saru getting so close to Aussie 2K but can't get the job done. Yuki Bear getting very close to With Matif as well. One of these guys, they make one mistake and it is all over for the driver behind. We're getting very interesting, and we've also seen Aussie 2K has lost the DRS. Yuki goes around the outside, doesn't get the job done. Whiff looks like he's going to squeeze him. Yes, he does. They're going to go side by side. Who's got the better grip here? It's Whiff between Yuki. They're going side by side still. Whiff is going to have a better line. No, he doesn't. He loses out to him in Spoon. Yuki up in a P7 now. Whiff down into P9. Lamb into P9. They're going to go side by side up 130R. We've got someone else coming through the middle. One Truth is coming through the middle. We've got 3 wide. This is insane. In the Japanese Grand Prix here, we've got Wonton getting into it as well, who looks like he's ready to go for a move on the kick. Now Yuki's sandwiched in a kick sandwich. He's got Bolster in front, bit of drama at the back. Absolute carnage.
Watanabe and Lamb. Watanabe and Lamb came together, almost dragged them both into pit lane together, side by side. So that's an incident on lap 25 between Watanabe and Lamb. They both just locked wheels and just, I mean, I'm all for showing the love and giving some hugs, but you definitely do not want to hug in a Formula 1 car. That was, that really kind of just threw a wrench into both XD Lamb and Watanabe's race.
Yeah, and it looks like Yuki is going to get the job done on Bolts, because Bolts has lost the DRS to Bevs. And Aussie 2K has lost that position to Yuki, but can Aussie 2K get it back? We've seen him very, very quick tonight, 54% versus 81. It's looking very interesting here. Oh, we're seeing a little bit of mistakes going out the front here. Roller is looking to go for the move on JF7 there, and he's ready to pounce and make the move done. So is Roller going to end up taking the win of this race? We'll have to wait and see. I don't know who's going to win this race. I've got no idea. We are coming up to driver of the day. Who's your driver of the day?
I gotta give it to Yuki. He started at the very back of the grid. He is now up into P6. Might even be a P5 by the time we're done. So 11 to 12 positions gained for the Mercedes, man. And he had kind of a tumultuous start, too. He got involved in a bit of an early incident that really kind of dropped him a bit. I think it got, it was, I think lap 3 or 4 that he got kind of tapped wide. But the safety car brought him back into play, and he's been making moves ever since. So Yuki Bear has my pick for driver of the day.
Okay, well, I've put 2 votes in because I've gone for Bolt Saru because I think fantastic from Division 3 to Division 2, doing a great job. And Aussie 2K has actually got the job done on Bolt Saru. And now Yuki is up into P5. And guess who he's got right in front of him? Bevs, right behind, who is in that battle with the front 3. Roller down there into P2. It's going to go to the final lap here. And I'm going to put this on the driver of the day. So, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for it. I'll let you take this one away and I'll take the final one.
All right, so taking a look at this battle here up at the front, Dale Bevs is getting closer to Aiden Israden now. If they continue battling it out, though, it is going to be Yuki Bear getting in that DRS. He is at 1.2 seconds now, just barely out of that DRS range. But it's either now or never for the Mercedes, man, if he wants to try to get ahead of his championship rival, try to close that gap even more. But right now, JDI, the pole sitter from today, is doing a fantastic job holding on as they come out of Spoon. Going into 130R, you have such a slipstream on this straightaway. Is Roller going to make the move? Nope, he did not. He had a bit too much real estate to try to make that move happen. And then it is going into the Casio Triangle. We'll see what is going to go ahead and happen as we go ahead and head to the final lap of this Japanese Grand Prix here at Rush. And I will let you take it away as MJ Roller takes the position away from JDI.
Yeah, he's gone for the move. They've gone for the move. We've got Aiden as Raiden, and JF7 goes round. Aiden's Raiden ran the outside. Job done. Roller is in a great position now. He just needs to save that battery. Bev's down there in P4. Looks like he's going to cement it. He's got his rival behind him in P5. Phenomenal drive from Yuki tonight. Getting from where he was, he just managed... Patience was the virtue, and he got the job done. And yeah, few little mistakes there that has got him into that position as well. And he's done very, very well. Roller is in prime time position. Bez will be happy with this position, though. It is a good spot for McLaren in P1 and P4. A great position as well for the 2 kicks. As Roller has lost it. Roller is going to go side by side with Aiden's Raiden. And they're going to go side by side. This is not over. This race, Aiden's Raiden is taking it to the McLaren. And he is right behind him with 35%. Now, Roller has so much more battery than Aiden's Raiden. So all he needs to do is burn, and he's away. Because Aiden's Raiden does not have enough to catch him. So he burns everything. He's got the win. Because Aiden's Raiden is not going to catch up. And JF7 is ready to pounce through 130R. Could we see a bit of a drama going into the closing stages of this race? Is 130R Bevs is going to get into the mix? No, he doesn't. Roller coming into the final corner. He's got the job done. No penalties, ladies and gentlemen, tonight. It's going to go to the last wire. Roller wins the Japanese Grand Prix. Aiden's Raiden in P2. And Bevs gets JF7 at the line for P3. Insane! McLaren put it on the podium in 1 and 3. I thought JF7 had that. I thought he had P3 in the bag. And Bev's got the job done. So how excruciating could those extra points be on Yuki? 1 spot in between Bevs and Yuki. Wow. Insane end to the Japanese Grand Prix.
Yeah, I think JDI actually had a bit of an incident or a bit of a mistake coming out of the Casio Triangle. So I think that's what allowed Bevs to kind of just slot himself into that P3. But it's a double podium for McLaren. That is a wealth of points in the constructors for both here and the overalls. Obviously, Dale Bevs increasing that lead just a bit more in this Drivers' Championship. Yuki Bear was given Driver of the Day in-game. still a bit of a while before the driver of the day vote closes here in Twitch chat, but a very well-driven race here from the McLarens. They did a fantastic job today, and also Aiden is rated so close to the first win for Alpine, but he had a fantastic drive as well. So, I mean, that was basically the key of today. It's just a lot of these drivers that we weren't expecting had fantastic drives here.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, and it looks like it's going to be Yuki Bear for driver of the day, so I'll put that in now because he does have more of the votes. What a win! What a race! What a great race! That was definitely more entertaining than the F125 race in Japan. Oh wow, that was a really good race. Really good to see. And yeah. We are going to jump on board with some interviews, but what a race for the top three, well, top four, top five, probably everyone tonight. Absolutely fantastic. Roller taking out P1, Aiden's Raiden taking P2, Bev's taking P3. Fastest lap goes to Dido. I was on the softs. Unfortunately for Chisel, Limitless, Coda, Sparko, all out of this race. 14 drivers remaining, and yeah, what a night! What a night of racing. I'm hoping we can get Aiden as Raiden in, because it would be definitely very interesting to hear what he's got to say regarding the battle with the DRS between him and JF7. So hopefully we can get Aiden as Raiden in. Jump in the comms box, please. Hopefully we can get him in. It would be great to get him in. He normally says I have to have my tea. But yeah, Aiden as Raiden, if you're listening, mate, jump into the comms box because we'd love to have a chat with you. All right, so we're waiting. Yuki is in. We'll have a chat with him in a second. We're just waiting on. Oh, very, very close. Yuki did get driver of the day. 4 votes to 3. Congrats. I'll just put this in. Congrats, driver of the day, Yuki Bear. And we are going to have the other guys jumping in. But before I start that, hang on. Just grabbing water. We'll be in a second. Yes, we will see a first appearance of Aiden's Raiden. Awesome. Good to hear. Okay. All right. Well, first up, before we do get on board some interviews, as we do have the rest of the guys in, Rekas, give us a bit of a summary of tonight's race, mate.
Yeah, today's race was basically about just waiting for the perfect opportunity to go ahead and make your move. Just wait for your opponent to make a mistake and stay within that DRS slipstream. And yeah, that's pretty much how this race really went. Some very competitive drives up and down the field. Obviously, the safety car really did change the dynamic of how this race all played out. But overall, it was a very entertaining race. Lots of very dicey overtakes and a good amount of drama as well. So you can't really complain about that.
Yeah, no, definitely. We are going to jump on board, and yeah, what a great race. There's been some fantastic races at Japan and Rush, and especially I remember one of them. I can't remember what division it was. In the wet, oh, it was wheel to wheel. But there was so many things that happened, and it wasn't like accidents and stuff. It was just people like losing grip and just insane. All right, well, let's get on board and have our interviews of the night. I will let you take away the first one, which is our driver of the day. Not on the podium, unfortunately, but a great drive. I've got to say, a massive props to Yuki Bear with that drive. That was phenomenal. Timed at perfection, waited for mistakes. Didn't look like it happened at the start, though. Obviously, a few incidents, which are obviously going on to the onboards. But no, congratulations on driver of the day, and I'll pass you over to Rekas for the first interview of Yuki Bear.
All right, well, Yuki, unfortunately, not quite a podium for you, but you definitely did do some massive damage limitation today in the Drivers' Championship. You started from the back of the grid, or almost the full back of the grid, and then you made your way up to P5. So, overall, how was the race from your perspective?
Yeah, it wasn't awful. Yeah, no, I would have gotten a lot better, but I got spun out in like 4 or something, which put me so far down, like last by like 5 seconds. So that's annoying. But yeah, it was a good race after that. I had decent pace. Didn't really realize how fucking high I was until got to our last few laps, and I saw the front runners all of a sudden I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So yeah, push, got past the slow guys in front, and then no, just didn't have enough. Like, it was just got to like half a tenth at one point, and I just missed out. But I just ran out of laps. If I'm being honest, I reckon I had the pace since they were all fighting to catch. But ran out of laps to attack, and no, is what it is. But damage limitation was good, so happy with that.
Yeah, the gap did extend a little bit. Don't have exact numbers in front of me at the moment. I know it was 23 going into this race, and the gap did extend a little bit. So there is about 4 rounds left to go. We have Silverstone, Jeddah, Mexico, and then the mystery round coming up. So out of those 3 tracks that we know about, being Silverstone, Jeddah, and Mexico, what is the track you are looking forward to the most for the rest of the season?
Not really any. Not my favourites, but I know I've got good pace at Silverstone, Jeddah, Mexico. I don't know. I haven't driven there in a while, so that'll be interesting. And then and then obviously a final round, which is what is a mystery. So that'll be interesting if that's going ahead. So I don't know. Hopefully, start getting more wins after. I reckon I had the pace to be up there, which is annoying with the collie band, but is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, there is still time. I mean, anything can happen in a championship. It really just takes one bad result from either you or Bevs to really kind of wrap this championship up. So, I mean, it's still a lot to play for here in the closing stages of this championship.
Yeah, no, it's been annoying. It's been very back and forth recently. I've got down a lot, and then it went back out, and it got down again. Now it's a bit further out, so very back and forth. So I'm, for myself, hoping I can finally get some consistency. But no, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, well, once again, congratulations on driver of the day, and I will pass you over to SJ.
Yuki, mate, congratulations on driver of the day. Obviously, we're not saying congratulations on the podium, but a phenomenal fight. It didn't look like it was going to go to plan tonight from the start. We saw a little bit of an incident, 2 incidents actually. One with I think Lamb, and then another one I can't think was someone at the back. I think that hit you and spun you around as well. So that'll be looked at by the onboard stewards. But then we had the safety car come out, and then that changed the whole dynamics of the race as always. And we have not seen many safety cars here since obviously from Division 4 and Division 2 tonight. And yes, you were in a bit of a battle with the kicks. Hado was holding you up for a bit, but you just seemed to just time and be patient, and that's what you've got to do here. You've got to be patient. You've got to be patient, and you were. And Bolts lost the DRS there, and you made it through. And a couple more laps, and I think you would have been at the back of Bevs, which would have been a nice little showdown. All in all, apart from obviously not getting on the podium, how do you feel the race went for you?
Yeah, I said it was good, but it was annoying. I'm just annoyed because I ran out of laps. I reckon I had the pace to catch since they were fighting. I was pulling away from. I pulled a gap. I put a second to the Haas and the kick behind, so that was good. And I was just gaining. It was just a struggle because it was so. I didn't have any laps. I had to save battery and then burn it. So I reckon if it was like 3 or 4 more laps, I reckon I could have saved for a bit and then push. Because I was getting that gap down, like almost. Like I saw it go down to 9/10 at one point on an exit, but it was just it was close. It's annoying, but I reckon that spin with Wananabe where he shoved me completely onto the grass, which was no room, which it is what it is. But I reckon if that didn't happen, if I got myself up to P5 after being last, I reckon it would have been a bit better. I don't know.
Yeah, we did see you
go.
We did see you go for the move on Watanabe very early on, going into Casio Triangle, and you had the right to go for the move. You were side by side. You got a very good exit, and it looked like he moved over. and that moved you over. Then you moved off your line. I don't know if you'll get done for a bad re-entry. I don't know. And then all of a sudden, the Williams of Lamb then hit you and spun you around. So I don't think he saw it. So we'll have to obviously wait and see what happens. But yeah, that was obviously very early stages. Obviously, you didn't. Probably, I don't know if you did know. Bevs did take P3 in the end. He got the job done on JF7. I think at the line. So that's obviously an extra car in front and more points. Just giving you a bit of a heads up. You're 27 points behind. That's not the biggest. We've seen bigger gaps than that. Compared to obviously Division 1, there's 36 and 39. 27 points. It's basically one race. That's all it is. And anything can happen. And we've still got a few races left. Going into next week around 17, Silverstone, 100% race. How do you feel around Silverstone?
Yeah, it is. It is just, as you said, it's one race, like one bad race from him. But at the same time, he doesn't have bad races. He's quite consistent, which is what's pretty much just killing me at the moment, because I had to miss a round, which cost me, and then tonight with the quali ban, which I shouldn't be too upset, but it's just annoying. But no, that Watanabe incident probably cost me, I'll be honest, a podium, because that's annoying. But that's I'm not the happiest at the moment in the world, because it's just annoying.
It happens. It happens. You look at Division 1, and we'll give that one another example. Gully had the incident in Hungary with obviously one of your fellow teammates. He then lost his connection at Bahrain, which was basically going to win the race. And he's now fighting 36 points against obviously Chandler's. And lost big points, obviously in Imola last night. So things can happen, And if Chandler's obviously DNS in Baku next week, then it's all to play for on the last race, because it's a sprint race. So anything can happen. And Bibbs has been in this position before. He knows. And this is the thing with him. He's been in this position. He was in this position with Kalki. He dominated for so long, and then Kalki got some new pedals thanks to Josh. And then he just ran away with it near the end. So anything can happen. And we saw tonight, Japan is one of these tracks, very difficult to overtake. As you probably, when you watch the race back, you'll see.
I found out.
Well, within the front three, they couldn't get past with the DRS because the two in front. And making that move in that turn one, you've got to be spot on. So, no, I think you've done a great job. It's only one spot, unfortunately, he's finished in front of you. It's 27 points. It's not that much. Silverstone is a big race. It's 100%. So, yeah, I think plenty of practice. And there's still a long way to go, man. We've still got the mystery. There's still 4 races to go. Anything can happen.
Oh, I'm not giving up at any point. Anything. Like I do believe, I still reckon I can do it, because I have been like it's been weird. Like the start of the season, got 2 wins, led by a mile, and then just got a real string of unlucky. There was mix of bad luck and then my own fault, and then clawed it all the way back, and then with like 2 wins or 3 wins in a row if you count, because I couldn't make it. But then I've P5. Like a P5 isn't bad. Like I think 4 points he beat me by. So
there you go. Head up. You watched Quit 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't really want to race 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, but no, it's gonna be fun. It'll be an interesting. I don't think Mexico. That's my only worry. Mexico on the mystery. I'm not great at Mexico.
Well,
but I almost won there last season, so I don't know. Anything can happen.
Well, Silverstone, Jeddah, Mexico, Silverstone next week, 100%, and then obviously the mystery. So plenty of tracks still to go for it. Keep your head up. Great drive. Congratulations on the drive of the day, and we'll see you in Silverstone next week.
Cheers, fellas.
Okay, right. We'll go over to P3, and I'll take this one, and then I'll let you answer the next questions. Dale Beveridge.
Yes. How's it going?
Hi, my friend. How are we?
Yeah, not bad. Pretty good.
An interesting night. We'll talk about it. obviously qualifying pretty good. You know, the race, you were leading the race before the safety car came in. You timed that to perfection. You took the lead again when everyone obviously came back round and the safety car came back in. Obviously, Roller, your teammate tonight, lost out in that position, dropped down from P3 to P4 due to the double stack. How did you find the race went for you? Because in the end, you got the job done on JF7 on the final lap, which is obviously extra points, which you'll be over the moon with, because it was a very, very interesting night. And it looked very painful the last probably maybe 5 or 6 laps. Just couldn't get that job done back into P2 or P1 because of such the powerful DRS between JF7 and Aiden's Radom. So, yeah, how do you think tonight went for you?
Yeah, look, overall, I think it was fairly decent. Had a pretty annoying lag spike again for the second week in a row where I lost a fair few seconds, which is why I've dropped from second to fourth, I believe, on lap 14 or so, which is the second week in a row this happened, and it's very annoying. I think last week it happened in front of Yuki, and this time at least it was only like a 2-position loss rather than about 10. So I think it was a fairly good sort of team decision to let MJ buy in the heat of the moment in case the sort of game continued to shit the bed, so to speak, because it kind of obviously worked out for him, which is nice.
Yeah, and whoever made that decision, best decision. And it's big decisions to make. You know, we see it in real Formula One. You know, some of the driver number one doesn't want to move out the way. We've seen it with Lando and Piastri a few times, and tonight you've done it. And you know that you're leading the championship. You've got a very competitive driver fighting you all the way. Did you worry about that a little bit tonight, or was it just fully concentrating on where you were? You knew that obviously Mclaren struggled in Division 1, no points. There a little bit of pressure on that, or was it just business as usual for yourself?
No, just business as usual. Just I did no practice other than 3 laps prior to the race, so yeah, the quali was interesting, so I'm glad I was able to actually make it to Q3 because for a moment there I didn't think I'd make it out of Q1. So it was a bit of a surprise that I was able to end up P3 at the end of quali, but obviously with Yuki's quali ban, I knew I had to sort of make it count.
Yeah, and he's obviously still in a little bit of frustration from his race, but still obviously a good comeback for him. Going away from obviously the season, you've been in this positions again before, and I've mentioned this conversation, and we made the decision to keep you in here. What's this season been like compared to last season? You know, you dominated for a long period of time. Are you starting to see guys starting to be getting a little bit closer to you, or are you just? Is it just another day at the office? Like, how do you feel compared to season 7 to season 8 at the moment?
I mean, like the stats show that obviously I'm leading the championship with 4 wins, but I mean, some of those wins were kind of handed to me, sort of freebies. I've participated in every event. I've just been consistent. I feel like anyone can win on the night. I mean, it's just kind of shown by the amount of drivers that we have had win in season 2. I don't think that I'm the fastest necessarily. I don't think my quali pace is anywhere near as good as someone like Lamb when he's on form, Yuki, even JF7. And fair play to him tonight. He probably should have had P3, but he made the mistake at the chicane. I actually didn't overtake him due to merit. It was him just getting too much wheel spin and losing the position.
Oh, okay.
So
interesting.
So yeah, I think anyone can win on the night, and I think it's hard to pass anyone here, or just in any race. And I think sort of just being consistent is really the main goal.
Definitely, it's definitely. It was more action packed than the real Formula One, which is always good to see. Going into next week, Silverstone 100% race. We're back to one shot, which people hate. A track favourite of yours? You feeling comfortable there? How do you feel around Silverstone?
I think Silverstone's fairly similar to Japan. I'm typically not a big Silverstone fan. Despite the results that I've had there previously, I still think it's a bit of a challenging track, and I think it's going to be one where a fair few drivers will show their pace, and I think the DRS train is going to be a bit of a chaos sort of starter.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, congratulations on P3, and I'll pass you over to Rekus.
All right. Well, Bevs, you did increase that gap in the drivers' championship by about 4 points. I know you're talking about how Silverstone isn't your favorite track despite prior results, but how about the other 2 races that we know of to round out the season with Jeddah and Mexico?
Yeah, Mexico's one of those weird tracks that no league seems to run on their calendar, so I don't really know how I'll go around there. I did a race there a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, it didn't really give me much information, to be honest. Jeddah, on the other hand, is one of those weird tracks where you might feel quick, but with how tight the track is and how close the walls are, you can pretty much bin in any sort of any corner. So it's one of those weird tracks where you've got to push, but you've got to sort of maintain some gap and some safety to finish the race, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I do like Jeddah, but I 100% agree. The walls there are super close. It is a very claustrophobic track. A pretty good one, honestly, but yeah, like you said, the walls can really bite out at you. So overall, if there was one track that you want to race on for the mystery round that would really help you in trying to clinch this drivers championship, what track are you hoping for when it comes to the mystery round in a few weeks' time?
I don't know what trucks we've got available in the mystery round, so I've got no idea. Well, I'll just drive whatever one I'm pretty much put in front of, I suppose, and hope that I get another good result. But yeah, we'll see.
Probably another Monaco full distance if I were to make a guess, but
yeah, I have a feeling it's not going to be that.
Well, it was last season. I forget for which division, but that did happen. But
it's 50. It's not 100. It's a 50.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, well, once again, congrats on the podium, and we will see you next week at Silverstone.
Cheers, mate.
All right. Okay, we'll go over to P2, and he has his first ever appearance in the comms box. Aiden's Raiden, mate. P2. How did you feel about that? Yeah, that was an interesting night, especially with you and JF7. It looked like you had the pace here. But unfortunately, Roller did get through, and you just ran out of ERS on the last ditch on the last lap of 130R. But how did you find tonight went for you?
We're all very closely paced, I think. I was just trying to keep in P1 or P2. Because the moment I dropped to P3 and it was all over, because it's just so hard to overtake P2 when you're in P3, because they have the DRS also. So it's just a fight to stay as high up as you can, and try not to get the. It was so much pressure, honestly. It was very fun though. I really enjoyed that, even if I didn't win.
Well, that's the main thing.
I was just trying to drop my best.
That's the main thing, Aidan. Obviously, Division 2 has been extremely competitive, and you have jumped up a few times in Division 1 to help your fellow other teammate of Chandler's, who is staring down the barrel of a championship. But he's got a lot of pressure on there. So we did see, and Rekus will probably touch base on this as well, that we saw that Roller did try and make a few moves, but just couldn't get the job done. You P2 and P1 in DRS on down that main straight for P3 is extremely difficult to get past. And did you see that a few times in the rear view of your mirror? That he was looking to make the move, but you just slammed the door, and you and JF7 kept timing it to perfection and switching around each lap.
Yeah, it's exactly what I have to do. You'd have to choose P1 or P2. You can't choose P3. I'm just trying to manage my ERS so I don't run out, but also don't fall back behind. It was just really tricky, really strategy race. I say that, but there wasn't really much strategy for tire-wise as safety car decided that. But yeah, that's it.
Looking at your stats this season, you've been very consistent in P2. Obviously, you haven't got a win this season, and there's a few drivers that haven't got a win. They've come very, very close. How do you feel that your performances have gone this season in the Alpine?
It's been up and down, I think. There has been races like last week, I wasn't doing very well. Brazil wasn't running my track.
Mhm.
Same with Singapore, I wasn't doing too well, but then I was looking at stats too. It's not too bad, honestly. I've been up around P5 sometimes, just trying to keep it around there, but also, then again, I have those races where I drop down the grid, which isn't good. But it's just trying to keep balance, I guess.
Well, yeah, but some of your performances have been fantastic. You on One Truth, P5, P9, that's pretty good compared to obviously other divisions. Obviously, Alpine are struggling in a few others. You've got 4 P2s, 2 P3s, P5, 168 points. I think you're 20 points behind Roller at the moment. Going into Silverstone next week, how do you feel around Silverstone?
I think it's one of my good tracks. I got P2 a few weeks around there. So I'm confident there. It's just qualifying one shot isn't very good for me. I'd be surprised if I'm up at the top again. But it's a 100% race, so anything can happen. It's going to be quite chaotic, I think.
And
Just got to keep your nose clean.
Going into next season, F125, what's one thing that you would probably change in your performance in your situation? What's one of the things that you think that you make mistakes in and what you can improve on going into a new game and a new season?
Not sure. Probably I'd like to remove one of my assists because I've upped the ABS and upped the trash control this year.
Yep.
Because I have a skill issue, but I'm hoping to remove that next season, hopefully.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'll pass you over to Reckers. It's great to have you in the comments box for the first time ever. We've tried a few times, and I know you've been busy. But no, congratulations, mate, on a great drive. It was unfortunate you didn't get the win, but still, stellar performance. Look forward to seeing what you can do next week in Silverstone. And I'll pass you over to Reckers.
All right, so I'll ask you the same question I asked the two gentlemen ahead of you. But before I do that, go ahead. I'm just going to say congratulations on a very hard-fought P2. You had a fantastic qualifying and a fantastic race. Had a win at one point, but just unfortunately just not quite there. But with Mexico and Jeddah coming up after Silverstone, which of the two tracks are you more looking forward to in the season? And are either one of those two also tracks that you feel really good at? Because just like you mentioned earlier, I know you feel comfortable at Silverstone, but how about these next two tracks afterwards?
Yeah, I hate Mexico. I really don't like it. Jeddah, on the other hand, I like Jeddah. I think it's a nice mix of fast and slow, or fast and high speed corners. So I'm looking forward to that. But Mexico, I'm not looking forward to.
Are you looking forward to any of the reverse track layouts that are coming into the game next season or the next game?
Well, yeah, it's almost a different track. Even though it's the same track, it's a completely different layout. Everything's different. So yeah, I'm looking forward to racing on that. Hopefully it'll be good racing there.
Yeah, I've seen the stuff for Zandvoort, and it looks absolutely fantastic. So overall, how do you think your season has gone for you so far as a whole? Because I mean, I know this almost got Alpine's first win of the season in Division 2. So what are your thoughts on how your season's gone for you so far?
It's just up and down, I think. Like I said, there's been races where I've done good, and races where I've done badly. I think the good races outweigh the bad ones, but just trying to keep consistent, I think. So I'm going to try and do for the next 3 races. And I should be in a good position then to... I could overtake MJ, but he's really fast, and it's going to be tough to overtake him, but I could try to do it. I'll try my best, but...
I mean, that's the best thing you can do is just to go ahead and give it a go, give it a good effort, and then whatever happens is whatever happens. And I know you talked about potentially starting to remove assists when you're going into F125, the new game. Which one are you going to try to practice first? Because each one does have its own quirks and kind of skills you'll have to master and differences between driving with or without them.
It'll probably be traction control, I think. Back a few years ago when I raced on controller, I was no assists except a racing line, so I had a good feel for the brakes and traction. But now on a wheel, I just cannot get a grip of it. So I'm hoping that can change next season, so I can be a bit more competitive. Because I think they're nerfing traction control, which I'm probably not too happy about. But it's probably deserved.
Well, that is all I have. Once again, congratulations on a very P2, and we will see you next week at Silverstone.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, okay. We'll go over to our winner of the night. I'll let you take this one away. Mekas, over to you.
All right, so congratulations, MJ Rolla, on a race win here in Japan. I mean, it was a pretty dicey one at moments, made some pretty risky attempts, and you just got stuck behind the Aston and the Alpine for quite a while. So talk us through that.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, big surprise to finish at the top actually. I was been away all week on a holiday, so I didn't get any practice in either, but came through with the goods. But yeah, it was pretty tricky getting into second, as Aiden was saying. The Aston and Aiden were just working really well together at the front, boxing me in. So I just sort of had to bide my time and set it up, and sort of said to Bevs, I'm going for it on this lap, and just dumped the battery and got to second, and sort of sat there and just recharged and made sure I had a battery pack for the final straight as well, which held off. But yeah, I nearly got me into the hairpin on the last lap, and I think I nearly cooked it through the chicane as well on the last sector as well. But yeah, no, all in all, stoked with the P1.
Yeah, so it surprised us. We thought it was either JF7 or Aiden going to get the win there initially, but you did pull through. So Silverstone is up next. How do you feel that your pace is going to be with the one-shot quali?
Qualifying for me in general isn't great. My one lap pace isn't good. So, but I do like Silverstone. It's probably one of my favorite tracks. So hopefully I can just keep it in the white lines and put a decent time in. And yeah, I back my race pace in most tracks anyway. So hopefully I'll just do my thing and be up the top again.
All right, so once again, just like I asked the other three gentlemen ahead of you, so we got Jeddah and then Mexico coming up after the full race distance of Silverstone. So is it the same case where you like Jeddah and not a big fan of Mexico, or vice versa, or what are the final two tracks of the season?
I actually don't mind either of them. I think all three of them are not too bad tracks for me. So yeah, looking to finish strong, but obviously trying to focus on Bev's getting them as many points as he can. It was just a shame that Aiden was in between. Otherwise, we would have done the swap back. But obviously, it was just too hot on those last few laps. But looking forward to the last few rounds of the season.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask about the swap, and that kind of pretty much answered the future question I had. So you might have a extra career as a psychic. But yeah, once again, congratulations on the race win, and I will hand you over to SJ.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Megas. NJ. Wow. What a night for you, mate. We'll say it's been interesting this season. But we'll start off with the racing itself in Japan. You did state earlier on in the garage that you hadn't done much practice here, and I think everyone was probably a bit scared. But no, it looked like it was a great start in quali. Obviously, we're very, very close to Bivs. We did see a little bit of a toe in some areas, and then obviously on the final stint, it was business for both of you. But would you say tonight, because one of the things that we do want to talk about is the P3, P2, P1. We did see you a few times coming down the main straight trying to look for the move on the outside, and there was one that you were so close to getting it done. But what was it like? Because we know you had near enough the same ERS coming up 130R behind Aiden Azraden. Then coming into Casio Triangle and then going on to the DRS, you near enough had the same again. But the Aston Martin top speed of JF7 was incredible. And the ERS management of you and Aiden Azraden was near enough the same. So how difficult was it to get past Aiden Azraden down that main straight?
Yeah, it was really hard. I had bevs in my ear just saying, "Be patient, be patient." So yeah, like I sent a few of them up the inside, but wasn't really going to go for it. Just trying to force a mistake. And ironically, Aiden did that to me in the hairpin on the last lap, which I just nearly cooked it and did a big lock up, and he nearly got me there. But yeah, no, the two in front when I was sitting in third were working together extremely well. But I had bevs in my ear just telling me to be patient, and I just waited till I had a good exit, out of that last chicane, and yeah, like I said, just dumped that battery and went full commitment through to second, which ended up teeing me up for the win.
No, it did. Aiden Azraden really did take it to you on that last lap. Give us a little bit of a heads up on how the last lap went for you, because it looked like he pushed you to every limit that you had. Even though coming up to 130R, you had more ERS. So if you would have burned everything, he wouldn't have caught you, because he was on 35 and you were on about 48 or 50 something. So you had a lot more ERS. So give us a little bit of an insight on that last lap between you and Aiden Azraden.
Yeah, first of all, he did a great race. Really good race from him. Obviously I dumped it to get past, I think it was the Aston who was leading on the second last lap. Dumped it to get past him, and I just wanted to have at least 50%, half the battery for that final straight going to 130R. And I was just banking that he would have roughly the same or less. But yeah, as I said, he threw a few dummies into the hairpin, and then I think he did the same into the last chicane. But I took too much curb on that last lap in that chicane, and almost it was uncomfortable. It wasn't a comfortable win at all. So, but yeah, overall, it was good, solid racing by I think the four of us in the top pack, and yeah, really happy to get the win.
Yeah, no, a great night, a really good night for obviously yourself and your teammate, and also for the team as well. Very painful night last night in Division 1. No points at all in Division 4 today or earlier with myself and Panic. Going into obviously next week, Silverstone. It's 100%. She's a big one. It's the first time we've ever done, 100% race at Silverstone. How are you feeling for that one?
Yeah, good. Like that track. I like enduros as well. So yeah, just hopefully I don't kook it through on the one shot. But long race, long time to fix up any earlier mistakes, and but obviously more time to make mistakes. So hopefully just keep it on track and be fast.
Okay. You're sitting in a position at the moment. I'm just going to look. You're in P4. You've got 182 points. Aiden Raiden's behind you with 168. You've got Shifty Wisdom in front of you on 215. You're 33 points behind him. Are you going to try and go for the P3, or is it just cementing the constructors for McLaren and the title for Bevs? What's the plan of the remaining of the races? Or, as I did say to Bevs, is it just going to be business as usual?
For me, I haven't had a really good season at all in Rush. I think I've missed
thanks, mate.
No. My season in Rush hasn't been up to my standard. I've missed 2 races being away, and then I obviously had a race ban as well. So there's 3 races I wasn't even in. But yeah, I think for the remainder of the season, it's just maximize points for the team, and try and get Bevs, keep Bevs on that top step above Yuki, and I think Shifty up there as well.
Okay. One thing I'm going to ask you as well, and I asked the same question to the other guys, going into 25, if you do stay with us or move on or other commitments, as we do know everyone does leave or does do something else, what's something that you feel that you need to improve a lot more? Because we know it was actually Imola I think it was either last season or the beginning of the season. You did a Division One race, and you went very, very long on the tyres, and you looked very impressive. And everyone was thinking, oh, he's Division One, but he was Division One and Division Two. So, what do you think is something that you could improve on your driving to make you in less of the steward's room and more on the podium? Because we know that you've got the capability. You've won 2 races this season, and some people haven't even won one. And that just gives you a little bit of an insight of what Division Two is all about. We want to have competitive grids across the board, and there's a 3-way fight for Division One. There's a 2-way fight for Division Two. Division Four, I think there's a 3 or 2-way fight there. Division Five looks like it could be done and dusted. Division 6, it's going to go down to the wire with another 3 or 4. And Division 3, it looks like it's done and dusted there maybe this weekend. So what do you feel that you need to improve in yourself moving forward in F125, and if you're back with us for Season 9?
Well, firstly, this is my first full league season in any of the leagues I'm racing in. Last season, I was a reserve for most of the season in most leagues. I think I picked up a full-time seat late, halfway through the rush season. So obviously I was filling in a couple of Div 1 races and Div 2 races as well. But I think, to Beth's credit, I think I just need to be a little bit more patient. I already have all the assists turned off, which I just by racing in online lobbies and just doing some things with my little brothers and that sort of thing back in the day. So I've got the feel for the car. I'm looking to do a swap from console over to PC soon as well. So I might have to get a new feeling for all that. But yeah, probably just being patient. I don't think the license points I've accumulated are all me, to be fair, but it is what it is. I think some people in this league keep me on my toes and vice versa. But yeah, just being patient and just focusing on not blowing it at the end, because sometimes I just do silly things towards the end of the race. I keep it in the white lines, which is something that I've always played with strict track limits, purely for that reason. So yeah, I think my driving is okay, but I need to be a little bit more patient sometimes and know when to go. But yeah, I think just keep doing my thing, and I think the more I race, the faster I should get, right?
Love your honesty, mate. That's what it's all about, being honest, end of the day. And they're difficult questions. We come into the closing stages, and there is for me now as the owner, commentator, driver, and everything, looking in the league. This is not the first time we've played F124. We've done 2 seasons on it now. The drivers should be very aware of how to race, know how to race. They know our rules. We don't do ghosting. We're very, very strict on our rule book. Our rule book is getting even stricter next season. And fortunately, the stewards, excuse my English, they don't take shit. You make a mistake, you get penalised for it, and that's the one thing that we need to do as a league and as general as drivers is learn from those mistakes. And the questions that we try and ask drivers in these interviews are difficult questions, and we want to see improvement. We want to see people push themselves to limit. We don't want you guys always to stay in Division 2. We want you to go into Division 1 and progress, as much as some of the times don't work, and we'll try and work around it. But no, good answers. Silverstone next week. Strategy is 100% race. It's a long race. Have you got a bit of a strategy up your sleeve what you're going to do? Because people do say Silverstone is all about the pit lane. It is an extremely long pit lane. So what's the plan for yourself from your point of view, from your driving next week?
I don't have a clue yet. I think I've raced one enduro around Silverstone before, but I don't remember what the strat was. So I think if I can this week, I'll jump on and try and get some laps in. I'll run a sim race and see how I go. But yeah, no, I'm excited for it. I do love that track, so we'll have to see what happens.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. A massive night for Mclaren. I don't want to be biased, but let's go papaya. We needed that after yesterday's nightmare. But no, well done, mate, on the win. A great win, a great race to watch as well. and a very interesting one. I reckon my thumb really started to hurt when I raced this race today. The amount of concentration you have to have in Sector 1 is just insane. So I take my hat off to every single one of you. And no, congratulations. Well done, Roller. Good job. And look forward to seeing what you can do next week in Silverstone.
Yeah, thanks, boys, for the commentary. Always appreciated.
Cheers, mate. All right, Rekas, done and dusted, mate. What a night in Suzuka. An interesting race. Like I said, more interesting than F125 in the real Formula One. Sorry, F125. More interesting than the real Formula One. We had the battle between the top three. We had Yuki coming through the pack. We had a few DNS. We had an incident. We had a safety car. Yes, it's all in one day. All in one day in the office, isn't it?
Absolute cinema indeed. Yeah, this was a fantastic race, fantastic drives from a lot of these drivers. And I am sure that they are dead tired. And I mean, to your point, I'm pretty sure anyone who races this track on a controller probably has carpal tunnel by now. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, overall, it was a really good race. Fantastic watch. It was a joy to be on the commentary box, as always, here in Rush for Division 2. And yeah, I'm actually really excited for Silverstone because Silverstone actually has a lot of overtaking opportunities compared to Suzuka, so it should be a blast. And we got full race distance.
And it's my home Grand Prix. Even better. No, it's going to be a really, really good night next week. I'm looking forward to it. First time ever doing Silverstone in 100%. So Division 1, I have it for the last race of the season as a sprint. And we have it obviously next week as a 100%. The last endurance race of this season. Rekas, mate, it's been a pleasure as always to have you in the comms box. Really appreciate it, mate, as always.
Yeah, I appreciate being here. It's a lot of fun. Always competitive racing. Never really a boring race here in Division 2 with how competitive everything has been. Several race winners, and I mean, that's more than you could say for the real F1 and even other leagues, because some other leagues could even just be dominated, but that is just not the case here at Division 2. And yeah, it's always fun waking up at 5:30 a.m. to get ready to pop in and have some fun with y'all.
Props to the dedication of Rekas, man. He's insane. He is insane. And yeah, I'm going to sort you something out at the end of the season, mate, for your dedication, because that is what we're after. We're after dedication, showing the support, and you do it every week, mate, without fail. So I really appreciate it, and love having you in the comms box. So yeah, and look forward to having you in for next week as well. It's going to be a great night. But thank you very much for everyone that tuned in tonight. Big up to all full of followers as well. Mavalock, Big Busty Brutus 69, GLC Wannabe 1XON, and CRW Jack as well. Big up to our main sponsor, AO369. Feel free to check them out in the comments as always. And also check out our other sponsors as well of Pagnin and SimLab. And feel free, like I said, as always, if you need any sim gear and the wheels getting a little bit loose or getting a bit old and you want to look for a new one going in to Season 9 for F125, or you just want to improve completely and change everything and go from a controller, as I'm on a controller, and go to a wheel, then feel free to get on board and we'll send you a discount code in the comments or in DMs and Discord. Also, check us out on all of our socials as well: TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all of our. Also, our biggest one is our Discord. And as Rekas did say, we are on YouTube, so let's move those viewers from Twitch over to YouTube. They're slowly getting there, but we really want to push on because that is where you're going to get to see all of your highlights for the remainder of the season. Thank you ever so much for everyone tuning in, as always, and yourself, Rekas. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Congratulations to the podium winners tonight. What a race at Japan. A very, very interesting night. A little bit longer than expected because it was such a great race. Congratulations to Driver of the Day, Yuki. Congratulations to P3 of Bevs. P2 of Aiden as Raven. Great to have him in the comms box for the first time ever. And big congratulations as well to MJ Roller for the podium. A big, big night for Mclaren tonight as well for the constructors, which is looking likely to seal the deal, but we'll have to wait and see. Next week, we've got Silverstone for Division 2, and the championship is really starting to heat up. Only 27 points between Yuki and Bevs, and it's going into an enduro race next week. So, yeah, you'll have to wait for that. But we've got more action tomorrow night with Division 5. You'll see me on the track and 2 other people, and a surprise new person in the comms box tomorrow night as well, which is going to be really, really good to see how he goes on his first ever debut in Division 5 tomorrow. So that'll be good fun. And yeah, we're back at Japan again. So do not want to miss that. That's tomorrow night. But as always, and I will leave you a quote as I always do before we go, MJ Roller has taken his second win of the season. But will he help Bevs take that title for the first time ever in Rush history? We'll have to wait out and find out to the end of the season, but we'll be back with more action next week at Silverstone. Good night.